Hey guys, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Can you guys, what's up? What's up, guys? Holy crap. Holy moly. Holy cannoli. We have a lot of freaking people. Okay, I think this evening webinar is getting a little bit of traction. What's up, guys? Tommy, Brian, Tina, Brady. What's up, Carol? Okay, guys, if you're just Delmer, what's up, Delmer? If you guys are just popping in, you should see a countdown on the screen. If you are just seeing the chat, you probably can't hear me either. So I got to type this in. Yeah, let me just type something in the chat, guys. It's welcome to the Brand Resume webinar. Let me read the description for those of you here. I didn't expect this many people. We have Margaret, we have Bill, we have Anthony. What's up, Donna? Shirley, hey guys, you want to say hi in the chat? That would be awesome. I see about like maybe, I don't know, 1/5 of you are in the back and not in the chat yet. So some of you are probably seeing the start broadcast screen and you wouldn't hear me if that's what you're seeing. So let me type it in the chat. If you are seeing the quote start broadcast screen, click the play exclamation mark. There we go. So yeah, here we are. How's it going, guys? It's literally 8:02 p.m. Eastern time. There's a timer up there for 3 minutes and 1 second. So we will start when that's up. I just want to say some hellos. I want to let you guys come into the chat, say hi. Who else we have here? We have Caitlin, we have Sandy, we have Akaibe, we have Tamara, we have Deborah. What's up, Gloria? Okay, so guys, where are you from? Where are you from around the world? You can start putting it in the chat if you want to let me know and the others know where you're from. We are live right now. I will just read the description right at the bottom here. A resume will get you a job and will bring you a paycheck, while a brand resume will get you whatever you desire and bring you a fortune. Let's cover why you need a brand resume in today's digital age and build your brand resume from scratch. Okay, guys, you're from all around the world, right? No, it looks like you're mostly from the U.S. We got Billy Mesa, AZ. Is that Mesa, Arizona? We have Indiana, Leesburg, Indiana in the house. Dolores, what's going on? We have Maryland or Maryland. I am Canadian. I said Maryland. Sharon, what's up? We have from Hesperia, California, is that it? Timothy. We have Shane from Dallas, Texas. We have India in the house, Vandana. We have a Canadian from Salt Lake, Alberta, or is that Slave Lake, Alberta? Justina. New Jersey in the house. Tom, what's up? We have Florida. What's up, Bill? Anthony from North Dakota. Brady from Bloomington, Indiana. We got Charlotte, North Carolina, I believe. Tina. Brian from Birmingham. We have Moore, Oklahoma. What's up, Tommy? We got Cheyenne, Wyoming. Hey, Betty. Oh, we have another Canadian from Mississauga, Ontario. Port Credit. What's up, Margaret? It appears we have a lot of people from the USA. Welcome, guys. Okay. The countdown's about to cut off. I must do a couple of things before we begin. It's become a standard practice in the live events world. I must give you a little story about myself. I'm going to kick it off with that. And then I have to give you a little bit of credibility of why you should listen to me, why I know how to do this stuff. And that was a super quick countdown timer. We got 10 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with a video clip that has no sound. And what I will do from there is I will just talk over it. Okay, guys? So here we go. I'm switching the screen. It's time to begin. Here we go. Okay, just got to click one more little thing here, and here we go. We will start with a little bit about me. Who is Marc? Who is Marc Lalonde? Okay, we'll start with this on my brand resume. My name is Marc Lalonde. I'm also known as The Wealthy Trainer. If you want to see more, guys, you go to thewealthytrainer.com. I'm going to keep the About Me portion of this live event super short because we have value to provide tonight, okay? Right now I'm on the About page, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the home page and we're going to go through the different hats that I wear in my everyday life. I call them hats. Some people call them titles, but really what they are to me are things that I'm pretty darn good at and things that I love to do. So let's go to the home page and let's take a look at my sliding images and videos here. I've been blessed to be a leader in many companies, as well as learn from some of the best leadership leaders in the world. I am an entrepreneur, always have been, always will be. Even if you go back to when I was 17 years old, selling pet food door to door, we'll get into that in a sec, which brings me to sales. I've been selling things all my life. When I started to personally brand myself, my business completely changed. That's what I'm teaching you guys to do today. About 25 years ago, I was a certified personal trainer. That's actually me right there. I lost 52 pounds in 2 months. I'm the founder and CEO of an online personal branding educational platform. I'm an online marketer, which means I run ads. That's probably how you found me and ended up here tonight. I've been a network marketer for the past 7 years, which basically means build teams of salespeople and lead them. I'm a speaker, whatever that means. In other words, I teach what I know to live audiences. I'm an investor because I invest my money wisely. That's actually me and Brett Wilson from Dragon's Den. And I am a philanthropist. Yes, that's actually me and Jim Watson right there, which is the mayor of Ottawa, Canada. Ottawa is my hometown, it's my city, and it's also the capital of Canada. So those are my highlights, and that's on the home page of my brand resume right here. You will all have one of these by the time we're done tonight. So even before we jump into it, write this down. What are your highlights? What are your titles, and what hats do you wear? You don't have to write them down now, just make note of this. And this gives me the opportunity to ask you to go get a pen and paper if you don't have one already. You will need to take notes tonight. Okay, so let's go back to my About page on my brand resume. That's pretty quick. Those are my highlights. Those are the hats I wear. Those are my quote-unquote titles. Now what I'll give you is my micro story. If you go to my About page at thewealthytrainer.com, you may not want to check it out right now because it's quite a long story. If you look all the way down, it goes. It's basically from when I started in my online journey, if you will, after quitting my computer job 7 years ago. But in short, if you go to the top of this page, you will see who is Marc. I will read it off to you really quick. It's just a couple of paragraphs. Then you'll have an idea of who I am and why I'm credible. And after reading this, I must share a couple of little income, or should I say financial success credibility as well. I'm not supposed to say income on these things. So here we go. Who is Marc? This will be kind of fun. I love talking in the third person. Marc is me, guys. Hello, how are you? But I will speak about myself in the third person. So I'll just read it off right here. Marc M. Lalonde, also known as The Wealthy Trainer, trademarked, is the founder and CVO of Branding YOUniversity, an online personal branding university. Marc caught the entrepreneurial bug at 17 years old when he started selling pet food door to door. Since then, Marc has experienced both extremes of life, going from being a successful computer consultant with several side businesses to falling into substance abuse, which led to him getting fired, going broke, and becoming homeless. However, he was able to bounce back, earning a 7-figure income while helping thousands of people from around the globe to find financial freedom by doing what they love. Since launching Branding YOUniversity, Marc has helped entrepreneurs, small business owners, real estate agents, insurance brokers, authors, actors, musicians, lawyers, teachers, industry-specific professionals, and of course, people with a specific passion from around the globe brand themselves. Marc's purpose is to help people brand themselves as leaders and authorities in either their specific niche or in whatever their passion is, while creating an income doing what they love. Wow, this Marc guy sounds like an interesting fella, doesn't he? Okay, that's really weird reading that this way, but that's how the editor wrote it. So there you have it, guys. If you want to know more about me, you can just go to the About page afterwards. My story's here in video form. I'll just scroll down here super fast, and it starts at the beginning. 21 jobs by the age of 25. No career focus, no educational focus. Then I get into my father's death, how that started a fire inside of me. Then I get into my first professional job in computers. Did that for 20 some years, and it was a lot of money, but the stress was awful. Ended up becoming an alcoholic, getting addicted to drugs, losing everything, being homeless. I went from there with affirmations and positive thinking, and then got into network marketing, started selling wellness products and built sales teams. And then from there, I started getting professional leadership coaching and started online marketing and branding myself. And then I started teaching others to do it, and they started to pay me a whole lot of money. And now tonight, I'm giving you guys the formula to a brand resume, and I'm kind of going off the cuff as this is scrolling, so I'll stop it from scrolling. And that's about it, guys. I mean, here I am today. It all comes down what you're going to learn tonight, which is your brand resume. Many of you may have a job resume, but I'm sure most of you don't have a brand resume. They're completely different. And that was long enough for the About Me section of this live event. I kind of rambled on as that was scrolling down. It was kind of cool to do. Like sometimes I get long-winded about this kind of stuff, but I literally did that in a few minutes. That's pretty awesome. But now we have to get into the financial successes I've had and the business successes I've had. I've kept this portion, or should I say, I will keep this portion to under 1 minute long. This is something I don't like doing in live webinars. I mean stuff like showing business leads, how many leads I generate, showing income, flashing checks, showing bank accounts, showing leaderboards. And I'm being serious, guys. Like, I really don't like doing this, but I have to do it really quickly, because when I attend a live event myself, I'm more likely to pay attention and, more importantly, apply what I learn if the person has been financially successful. So I understand this part. So here we go then. I'm going to come out live and we could get started, okay? Okay, here we are. So a little disclaimer first, and then a little bit of legal action. I got to do this. This video was actually screenshot, I believe a couple of years ago, maybe 2018-ish. I rarely log into PayPal accounts and bank accounts and flash checks live because of account numbers and such. And also because I've grown so much in the past couple of years that it's really kind of unrealistic what kind of money you can make at scale when you actually do have a brand resume like I have right now, and like you will have tonight. Like, I don't want to dive into it right now because we're about to, but you guys ever hear perception is reality? When you guys have a brand resume like you guys will have after tonight, or should I say you'll at least start working on it after tonight, the perception of you will be so grandioso or grand, and will just become more and more grand the more you add to it. You'll be an industry leader in whatever niche it is you are in. So when people buy something, they buy from people they know, like, and trust. And that's what the brand resume does, and it does it at scale. So you see, I'm already starting to teach. I don't want to be doing this. Let's get through the credibility stuff. I will share with you my PayPal account from a few years ago. Let's start there. But before we do so, let's take a look at the legal. The little note at the bottom of the screen. I do have 2 lawyers on retainer. So they advised me to put this in at this point on any live event. So it says, Marc Lalonde is a professional online marketer and personal branding expert with over 5 years of practical experience. The sole purpose of this 1-minute video, and it is 1 minute, guys, is to give Marc credibility and does not guarantee that you will get the same results. So, like I mentioned, this is a couple of years ago. My income has gone up dramatically since then, and it would be kind of unrealistic to share my live stuff anyways, because I'm scaling now, and you will be scaling as well. So, let's go. So this is when I was making about 6 figures a month, which is 7 figures a year, and these were sales of a product that I was selling, a digital product, and you sell several per day. Again, the sole purpose of this is for credibility. Whenever I'm required to show more income streams due to possible big partnership deals, well, then I provide them upon request. But for the financial credibility, this will do for tonight. Next, let's get into these leaderboards. As you can tell in my voice, guys, I'm kind of uncomfortable about this, but when I hit a leaderboard, I always hit number 1. If I don't hit number 1, I learn from it, and I make sure I hit number 1 next time. Will you be able to do this by the time we're done tonight? Maybe, maybe not. But that's not what this is about. This is just for my credibility. Apparently, this is supposed to get your attention. So this is where I was number 1 in an affiliate system, affiliate programs, when I was selling someone else's courses when I started out in 2015-ish. Now, once you're building your own audience with people who have been to your brand resume, you can do this with any affiliate program you join. You just basically automatically become number 1. I just don't want to sound like I'm some kind of talented guy here, because I'm not. I just have an effective brand resume that works, and you will all have one tonight as well. So I'm not going to share with you all the number 1 affiliate spots I get, because like I said, I get them all the time because of brand resume, but I'll show you a couple of the big ones. And when I say big, I mean in terms of companies and in terms of I had no idea I was number 1. Here's one from a huge software company called Status Brew. It's an automation company. The reason this one is special is because I had no idea I was number 1, and I had no idea that they would shout me out to their entire list of software users. I first heard of this from one of my followers. My followers sent me a screenshot of this. It said, I wanted to personally thank you since it's been a year since we launched the Status Brew affiliate program. So this is when they started to really promote their affiliate program to their users. And then below it says, last year has been great since we gave 15 grand a month in affiliate payouts to all of our amazing affiliates. And there it is. Marc Lalonde, our top performer of 2017, was able to make 3 grand worth of affiliate money with just a small 2 weeks of aggressive promotion. And just to be transparent, that aggressive promotion was 1 click. 1 click to the people who have been on my brand resume and ended up in my audience. I'll share with you guys just one more quick one from another software company. This is Webinar Jam. This is pretty recent, but the reason this one is really special to me is, once again, I had no idea I could possibly be number 1 here. And number 2 is, this is among a list of the top marketers in the world. So this one really got me. But once again, it proves the effectiveness of a brand resume, which once again, I'm about to teach you right now. I did affiliate stuff for a couple of years. Then I went on to selling products of other companies. And there's just one of the last companies I worked with. Within a week, I was able to reach number 1. And this pretty well happens with every company I join, every product I sell, because It all comes down to the brand resume, as you guys will see tonight. That's where I guide people first. When people see your brand resume, they know who they're dealing with. There is no resistance when you sell. Now let's go to my leads, which are business leads that I generate. Now this is a couple of years ago, so I am generating many more now. What was I doing back then? 1,000 to 2,000 leads daily. Yeah, I went up quite a bit since then. And finally, of course, when you get results like that through your brand resume, you will get massive exposure for being a top performer on huge platforms with hundreds of thousands of audience members themselves. Here's one of the first times that happened in 2015. I was the member of the month for my Lead System Pro MLSP. And every time something like this happens, your business goes up about 100x every time. Because you're audience tapping, you're getting in front of their audience. So this was a huge, huge deal. Next after that, another big one was being selected to be on the Online Profit Playbook. That's another huge deal with the top marketers in the world. Now just share one more with you guys, probably one of the biggest ones thus far. It is the Thinkific Course Creator Interview. This is pretty recent, maybe a year ago or so. Now they selected someone out of over 100,000 users. As a matter of fact, all of the platforms I just showed you have over 100,000 users on each of them. Now I don't want to speak too soon, but as I'm driving more and more people to my brand resume, there's some kind of crazy ripple effect taking place. I can't really reveal anything now, but there's a possibility that I'm endorsed by a sneaker company. I can't mention who it is right now, but you will know. I'll be sure to plaster that all over the web, and I'll be tapping into their audience as well. There's also a possibility that I'm endorsed by an energy drink company. Yes, one of the big ones. I can't reveal that yet because it's not done, but if you watch my webinars, you see me drinking this all the time. It's all over my brand resume anyways. They may as well send me a check, right? Another thing that may actually happen, I will drop the name here because I feel I'm very close, is being endorsed by the Wix platform. And finally, probably one of the big ones again. These haven't happened yet, but there's a possibility that I am on the community texting platform. If you don't know what that is, Gary Vaynerchuk is on it, and so are celebrities. Crazy stuff, all because of my brand resume and the brand resume that we'll be building for you tonight. But there you have it, guys. That's a little bit of credibility for you. Now I'm ready to come out. Who's ready? Now you know who I am, you know what I do. I've hopefully showed you that I'm credible from a skill level, from a financially successful level, and hopefully you kind of like me at this point. If you don't like me, that's okay. I have a ton of haters, but I would still recommend you stick around, guys, to get the value. A lot of my haters show up in my webinars and don't come out in the chat because they get the value. Success leaves clues, right? So, what do you say? I did a little clap there to wake you guys up. We're going to get started. I'm coming out. Now I have to switch screens and I have to switch mics. I got to get my lapel mic. So please let me know in the chat, guys, when you can see me on the screen, okay? Here I come. Okay, can you guys see me? I have to switch mics. Oh no, that didn't work. Okay, one sec. Okay, here I come. Hey guys, how you doing? Can you hear me, please? Please let me know in the chat. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to me on this live broadcast about your brand resume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys come in. I'll take a breath. And I'm going to mic up. These live broadcasts always get my nerves a little bit. It may take me a couple of sentences to feel at ease. So, where are you guys from? Let's start there, and I will. Now, this will go out to a lot of people who don't know who I am, and as far as credibility goes, I will guide you to my brand resume. How about that? What is a brand resume? Okay, first of all, guys, I need to keep this under between 45 minutes and an hour. What I will ask you to do, since this is in fact, come on in, perfect. Can you guys hear me and see me perfectly? I hesitated there because there's nothing perfect about this cat. It's always a little nerve-wracking at first on these live broadcasts, but thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to jump right in, okay? Those of you who know me, let's keep this short. I'll give you a resume summary, and you'll know why I'm doing this further on in this broadcast or this event or this live webinar. Today we're covering the brand resume. I'm going to ask you guys, if anything, if there was any training or webinar you've ever attended, this is the one where you'll need a couple of things. You'll need one of these, many of these probably. As you'll notice, I have 5 pages of notes. It's because I'm condensing the information, and this needs to be ramble-free. I will be myself. I can't help that, but these notes will keep me in line, in check to what needs to be delivered for you to basically rewrite your identity. Cool? Not cool? Do you like your identity? We're going to jump right into it, okay, guys? This is a brand resume versus a job resume. This is what this whole hour of power will be about. Now I'm getting a little more at ease. I'm grooving into it. So I think we're going to start with that. What is a brand resume? I'm talking personal brand resume. What is a brand resume and what can it do for you? Well, first of all, my name is Marc Lalonde. You can see what my resume looks like at thewealthytrainer.com, but we'll get to that at the end because I want to focus on your brand resume. First thing we're going to do is, let's talk about the differences. Maybe I'll start with what my brand resume has done for me. I sell stuff, okay? I sell stuff. People ask me, what do you do, Mark? What do you do? I want to, I just don't understand. You're talking about how to 7 steps that you used not to get bullied as a child, and meanwhile, people are watching your videos all the time and I can't stop seeing you. What is it that you do? I sell stuff. I sell either my products, I mostly sell products of other people and get my commission, or I quite often help, probably more, the thing I do the most now is I help people sell their stuff. And what I found was that my brand resume is what's doing it. I kind of connected the dots and it brought me back to my younger years when I was in computer consulting. I need to stick to the script, but what I will tell you right now is that by the end of this hour, with your notes, for free, you will be able to start building your brand resume in the correct way. And what it's bringing me is, and what it will bring you is, let's go right to the final result. And then we'll go into the differences of a traditional job resume and a brand resume, what the differences are. They're huge. It's a completely different thing. So actually right now, who's got a resume for a job? Who's got, put that in the chat, please. I'd like to check that out. Who here currently has a job resume for when you, I don't know if you still apply for a job or if you fired your boss, but do you have a job resume? Please put it in the chat. Well, I'll chime in a second here. What has my brand resume brought me? I've numbered the pages. We've got 4 pages. And one thing about me is the page I'm always seem to be looking for is the page I can't find. So what has my brand resume brought me and what does it continue to bring me every single day? Speaking gigs. I don't know if you want to do these things in your business. We'll share what I get out of my brand resume and then you'll be able to relate or not, or adjust or not. Let's move on. Let's move along. Not move on, move along, because we're on this topic. It brings me speaking gigs. Speaking gigs would be monthly, 1 or 2 per month. Television appearances, not so much. I've done a few. I'll share some with you. Again, because of my resume. What's on my resume? People check out your resume. Your brand resume, we're going through the differences in a sec. It's brought me podcasts and radio guest appearance spots where I'm the featured guest. That's what I mean. I'm not doing the podcast. I'm invited to be the featured guest. Massively huge connections because of my resume. When I refer to resume throughout this little 1 hour or less training, I mean brand resume, not job resume. Let's just go through what it brings me all the time. Connections, daily. I saw your online resume, but what they say is, I was at your blog, but you'll understand what I mean by this ain't your mama's regular or your grandma's, your mama's? This ain't your mama's blog. Could be your mama's blog, but it ain't your regular blog. But this is what attracts people. They can dig in, and it's built like a resume, as you will see. Connections from influencers. You may know a few people I regularly chat with. I'm going to humble brag because I'm not only connected with these people, all the ones I'm going to mention right here, I've had chats with, okay, through LinkedIn. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. Number one being Dan Pena. What's up, Dan? If you see this, wow. Who isn't a fan of a billionaire? Multi-billionaire, I believe. He'll like me saying that. If you know who Dan Pena is, the $1 trillion man, it's a big deal. Tom Billier, we've chatted. Bob Proctor, Russell Brunson, Dean Graziosi, Sam Ovens. That's a big one for me, to name a few. That's what my resume has brought me thus far. People asking me to buy my stuff or want to join me in what I'm doing, that would be a daily thing, multiple times per day. Okay, that's what my resume brings me. The more I build on my resume, because it's built the correct way, and I'm syndicating it the correct way, the more of those things I get. The most consistent one is people who want to buy my stuff. Okay, so if you need to sell more stuff, you're going to love my story. I need to share my story to what brought me to a brand resume, which makes me credible to teach you on how to build your brand resume that will bring you all of the stuff I just mentioned and more. I've only been in this business 5 years now, and you'll understand through my journey how I ended up at the Holy Grail. This is the Holy Grail. It all leads to, let me see your resume. What do they ask you when you go for a job? What do they ask you when they want to? I'm going to get into it deeper, but we got to move on because almost 10 minutes. That's outrageous. I've got notes. See this? Brand resume versus job resume. Who took a screenshot that fast? Nobody. And since we're live, you're probably saying, put that up again, please. Do you have your camera phone ready? I'll show it to you at the end. Fair enough? I'll show it to you, and we've got another 40 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'll share it with you at the end. Is that cool? Will that make you stay, or is that like a forceful tactic? Okay, see the real Mark's coming out. I got to chill out. If you don't know me, I can get distracted easily, and I can have a little too much fun on a very serious topic. This is what's happening. Snap back into it, Mark. Self-hypnosis. Okay, brand resume, job resume. Job resume is to get you a job. Brand resume is to bring you business. They're different. Job resume, it's for an employee. Someone who wants to be an employee. These are generally speaking, but they're pretty darn accurate. I just kind of jotted them down. I didn't have enough room at the bottom of the page, so these are just a few differences. A job resume is for an employee. You want to get a job to be an employee? A brand resume is for entrepreneurs. A job resume is for a salary. It's for some kind of fixed salary. They're paying $100,000. It's for the salary. That's what your resume is for, to get that salary. A brand resume is for a fortune, which has no ceiling. There is no income attached. It's a fortune. Okay? So salary for the job resume, brand resume is this is why it's so important, and nobody has it. Do you have a brand resume? You have a job resume. I'm sure everyone does, but you don't have a brand resume. That's for a fortune. Job resume, okay? You'll be asked to be a speaker for sure because you're told to. Get in front of the boardroom and explain module number 44.4 and how the polymorphism works in those objects. Okay? You're told to go speak in front of the staff. I did. I didn't want to. I was no passion. Okay, I'm not going to hate on the job world because I'm extremely grateful for my career in computers. I was a computer consultant for 18 years. Jeez, that's a long time. That's a long time. I've been retired for 7 years, by the way, because of my brand resume. So I said, you speak because you're told to. With a brand resume, you get asked to speak because you're asked to, not told to. Big difference. In my job, I was told to speak. In my brand resume, I was asked to speak. You get paid very handsomely. That's a side note. Job resume for a paycheck, a fixed paycheck. Kind of goes along the salary. For brand resumes, for profits. No ceiling again. Paycheck, job resume, profits, brand resume. Actually, I'll show you guys. I'll let you take a screenshot as soon as I'm done. Job resume is for popularity and fame is not encouraged. Actually, it's discouraged. You want to keep your mouth shut, do the job you're told, and keep it. Keep your job. Nobody likes to show off. Nobody likes to show off in general, but I think you're understanding where I'm going with this. A job resume, don't show off. Popularity, fame, influence is not encouraged because you're taking someone else's job. Popularity, fame is darn encouraged in the brand resume. Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, but you want to trample your competition if you're in it for the good. Okay? Yeah, you want to crush your competition if you're the right person for the job. And you want more influence because your voice gets larger. People, it's not about being the show off, it's about getting attention and being heard and getting bigger and building your audience. It's encouraged. You want that. When I had a side note, my job, when I was going for jobs with my job resume, if I started spamming my job resume all across all the headhunters in the computer world, they would talk to each other and they'd be like, they wouldn't like it. It's too much. Getting a little too much attention and bragging and not bragging, but you know what I'm saying? It's popularity is not that well encouraged. It's not that much encouraged, but in the brand world, the more you're out there, the more your audience builds, the more you're omnipresent, the better. So go quick. This is going by really quick here. I just need you to see the importance of a brand resume. Maybe this ain't for any of you all. Maybe this ain't for you. Maybe this isn't for you. Let's go through it. Job resume. Maybe you love your job and you're working on your next job resume and you don't want a brand resume. Maybe you found yourself here and you'll hear me through for the next 20 minutes. Okay, I'm dropping it like it's hot in the second year. You'll understand through my journey what I went through, whether this is something you need to create or something you don't. Generally speaking, if you're an entrepreneur and you sell something, you sell stuff, this is the best way to do it. Let's go. Job resume, keep yourself to yourself. In a job, aside from water cooler, this is a big one. In a job resume, you don't talk about you liking to skateboard or you liking to play golf. You don't put that on a job resume. Well, depends. But in general, no, you keep yourself to yourself. You just put your skills and tactics and experiences, so on and so forth. On a brand resume, you want to be yourself 100. The kids are saying that today. 100, 100% yourself. We're going to get into that big time. That's a huge difference between job resume, brand resume. Job resume, stay equal. This is a competition thing. I'm kind of revisiting. You're safer if you stay equal and shut your mouth in the job resume. Don't show off. Yeah, it's actually almost the same thing as popularity, fame. You want to, in their brand resume, you want to be better than everyone else. You want to be number one on the leaderboards. You want to generate 7 figures a year in income. You want to display that. Okay, I do. I definitely do. I think it's important. I think you can show, if you make a couple of million per year, which I do, I put it there. It's there. I think it's important. I got screenshots of checks. I got leaderboards from different companies where I go number one. I put them in there. It's encouraged to show your achievements more. Your peers, stay equal. Okay, I ran out of room. We got more. You guys get the idea? This is what this is about today. Building your brand resume. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to share with you my story. And just as a side note, I couldn't help it. Just as a side note, without my brand resume right now is the most important thing, and it's actually the only thing that matters. All roads lead to my resume. Should I get into this now? No, I'm going to share my story, and it's within. So, my call to adventure, okay? I've been selling stuff for a little while now in order to escape my daily job. I was a computer consultant. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to start my own business. I failed miserably along the way, but I did find a product in the wellness world that I would sell. So I started selling it. It's pretty well that simple. I started selling the product, making commissions, selling more of the product. It was a weight loss program. So I'd sell it, not mine, someone else's. So it was pretty much like an affiliate deal. I loved it. I get stuff at wholesale price, I sell it. So I started selling it and selling it and selling it. And then I found that it was still kind of like a daily grind. So I saw people online that were influential, and they would talk about how business would come to them. And it was kind of like a unicorn. Okay? Is that possible? People come to you and ask to buy from you. So I'm going to start dropping names, okay? There was once a man, I got to share my story. This is how it went down. I was grinding. I was selling enough product to, okay, we got to get this straight here, because I was making about $200,000 a year in computers. $200,000 to $250,000 in computers, but I did not like my job. I did not like having a boss. So even though I was making less selling protein shakes, I enjoyed it more. And I was my own boss. I had my own hours. So I took a hit, but it was still a grind. But it was worth it. It was half my income. I was making 10 grand a month. So from 20 grand a month, well, yeah, pretty much, to 10 grand a month. It depended in consulting for a lot of factors, but it was about 200,000, went down to about 100,000. So I took a pay cut instantly because I just told you. This is my story, and I'm sticking to it. A lot of people know this that have read my brand resume, but I found someone online. Here we go. His name was Ray Higdon. I don't know if any of you heard of him. He teaches people to build teams, okay? So to build sales teams and lead to those sales teams. So I started following Ray Higdon on YouTube, and he was in a program called My MLSP. We'll just leave it at that. And I didn't know what that was, but Ray Higdon I know he was getting a lot of sales come to him because I bought stuff off of him. I'm one of those people. Like I was watching him online, I'm like, what's he selling? I want to buy it, and I bought it. I went into something he was selling. So that's when it clicked. I'm like, if I'm buying off him, how many other people are? So what's he doing? I want to do what he's doing. So he mentioned something called MLSP. It's irrelevant. That's that didn't work out for me, but it opened up a new world to me. Now, what I did was I saw him say it in a video. It's not that it didn't work out for me. We're about to get very specific here. I heard him say it. Leaders follow leaders. Leaders follow leaders. They don't follow leaders. Success leaves clues, so on and so forth. So what I did is I looked up what that was. Because all he said was, in one of his videos, he said, I take my education in MLSP, and then this, and then that, and then the other thing. And I'm like, what is that? So I would like rewind the YouTube video, and MSRP, like I put in MSRP, like in the Google. What is that? So I found this platform online. We're going back 4 years. And I went into it. I didn't know what it was. I was all by myself, no sponsor. And they're talking about doing videos and putting out content. And I'm like, this ain't happening. I'm not doing videos. There's no way I'm doing videos. Providing value. And like, it was such a new world to me. And I just said, if they're doing it, I got to do it. So I did it. I started getting some success. But I did not like well, I wrote it down. I gotta be careful here. I didn't feel right about the transactional nature of it all. Even though I was a salesperson, I didn't join Ray Higdon because he sold me. He didn't sell me. I just watched him. I liked him. I thought he had a cool personality. And I bought off of him without ever even talking to him. That's what I was searching for. That was the holy grail. How does he celebritize himself to that point where people just come to him? And I knew it was happening. I could see it all the time. He was ranking up in everything he touched. So when I joined this platform, I was doing okay. I mean, I got #1 on all the leader, humble brag. I worked very, very hard, and something didn't feel right. So it's almost like I was doing well, but then I kind of said, no, I'm gonna kind of pivot a little bit. I did. A lot of things. I felt like I was still kind of like not completely free. Not that I felt like I was still kind of working for someone a little bit. There were rules, regulations. I'm not saying be a rule breaker, but it's something, it was so transactional. It was almost like everything was for sale. And I was selling, but everything was for sale. So I started searching for other leaders, not within the platform, but they helped me, and I'll forever be grateful for them because they opened up this whole world. It's just I was pivoting. I was just pivoting as I was going in my journey, and then I found this guy online that completely changed my world, completely changed my complete outlook on everything. I call him my initial mentor. Can anyone guess who it is? If you guys follow me. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk. I bought his book, Crush It. Let me have another sip. This is getting interesting. We're 25 minutes in. I'm okay with this. It was called Crush It. I read the book, and it was over for me. It was over. I didn't know how to monetize that. I didn't understand the whole thing about Gary Vaynerchuk. When I first found him, I hadn't connected the dots. I think I liked him because he said, he swears a lot if you're going to look him up. I didn't like that about him. No, I didn't fall in that school. I didn't fall into school. Believe it or not, I was looking for serious business information here. But it's what he was teaching. Believe it or not. I wasn't going for the whole F this, the F-bombs. He is pretty funny, but it's what he was teaching. He was teaching to be yourself and not to be so tied into, boxed into a niche or boxed into share pieces of you. If you like, I don't know, what is it, Labradoodles? If you like poodles, Labradoodles is out there? Golden Doodles. Golden Doodles. They're like poodle golden retrievers, I believe. Whatever it is. Or if you, it could be anything. If you like pepper on your strawberries, which is exquisite, by the way. A lot of people don't know that. But if you like putting pepper on your strawberries, you would share that. Like, what does that have to do with business? This is where he differed. This is where I went for the call to adventure of this online thing, but it didn't feel right. So I kind of got out of it a little bit and kept searching, found another mentor, Gary Vaynerchuk. And when he was saying, be yourself and provide for free, just give it all away, give everything you know, and it will come back to you. Trust the process. I was like, you gotta have faith for that. And I'm just gonna make sure. It was over deliver for free. That's his whole thing. Provide for free. Sales will come. Have faith. Your brand is you. You're not cornered into the box of a niche. You know, what's your message? That brings me to Gandhi's quote. What's your message, Gandhi? It's not, I help people get more sales so they could attain freedom in their lives. That's not his message. His message is his life. My life is my message, is Gandhi. So that felt perfect. Something inside of me, I'm gonna make sure I stay on track here. Okay, it's taking way too long, but it's okay. We're getting there. It all leads to your brand resume, but you need to understand my story, because as I'm talking here, I give everything away for free, and I made $4.4 million last year. What did I sell? We're getting to it. If you don't believe me, that's okay. I'm going to continue with my story because I'm looking to break. It's unbelievable. You're going to see how all the dots connect in a second here. So I said, leap of faith, baby. Crossing the threshold, they call it in the hero's journey. I said, let's do it. Let's start giving, learning, testing, getting a bunch of leads, finding out how to get leads on Twitter was one of my things, and giving it away, and start giving it away. And then the failures begun. So I had faith, I went for it, and let's talk about the trials and failures here really quickly. We're almost half an hour in. If you guys know me from online, many of you probably don't. Like 90% of you probably don't know who I am. My name is Marc Lalonde, thewealthytrainer.com. This is extremely efficient for me. I could ramble on. I've done 4-hour webinars. I know it's almost half an hour in. This is good time. We're doing well, just so you know, compared to old me. My failures. Why did I fail? Truth is, guys, I didn't fully commit. I was still, let's look. I was still very transactional. So I wasn't sharing enough of me that was non-business related. Sounds kind of like, why does that matter, right? Why would you want to share things that are non-business related? You're trying to sell stuff. That was the problem. All gurus kept saying, pick a niche and stay within. I let their opinions dictate my path. I did. Like when they say, they go, nobody cares about how you stopped bullies from bullying you when you were young. Who cares about that? How are you going to sell more wellness stuff by talking about that in a video? I let them deviate my commitment to the process. And then another one was, who cares if you love skateboarding? What does that have to anything to do with selling more wellness stuff? That's another reason why I was failing. I wasn't committing. And that kept me boxed in. So I was like my statements and my videos were very much like how to get more sales in one phone call with a series of questions that you will ask based on the responses. So they were good. I was sharing good information. My content was solid, but I was boxed in a niche. I wouldn't talk about why when I'm scared to do something, and if I'm about to get out of my comfort zone, that's when my greatest, like getting on camera, for example, those are my greatest successes. But what am I going to do? Like, talking about how I bust out of my fears? I use triggers. I use gestures. I use sense. Like, that's not, again, according to many people, it's still value, but then I didn't even go deep enough. I didn't go into why I like taking long walks on the beach, y'all. Okay, so I didn't fully commit. That's why I failed. So I still had to go get sales. Sales were not coming to me. Now, how did I get out of that rut? I went back to focusing on my mentor, Gary, and not listening to anyone else. Gary was my initial mentor. I wish I had his picture behind me, but you're going to see him in a second because I'm going to share something with you, a super quick clip. I stopped thinking transactionally, and I started to, this was the rebirth of me. I started documenting my journey. So if it's date night, it's date night. If I'm making, if I want to lose an extra 10 pounds this month, well, then I'm cutting out my carbs. I'll share that. I'll share that journey. And if I'm going to make a sales call or going to a business meeting, here's how I prepare. I would document that. So I started documenting everything. If I want to start a new business, I'll share that. So I'm still selling indirectly, but not really, because that's my life. I don't know if do you guys understand the difference? I'm sharing my journey. Now, here's what I'd like to do. I've been harping on this for a long time, those of you who follow me, when they say, well, a long time. I've been harping about this for about 3 months because my boy Gary, but I never really committed to it until recently. My business is off the chain because of this transformation, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug a video that just aired last week on the Gary, the Weekly V Show. Is just a little clip. Because every time I tell people that, they're like, what should I talk about? I'm like, talk about what you do. Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? Do you like Rubik's Cubes? Throw that in there. They're like, what? So, don't take it from my mouth. Take it from the horse's mouth. Let me plug this short video in right now. It's 30 seconds. This just aired last week. And when Gary said it aired, yeah, last week. When it aired on the Weekly V Show, I was like, this is it. I'm screenshotting this and I'm going to share it on my next webinar. So here it is. Check it out. I'll be right back.
So like I started a YouTube channel, and like one of the questions I wanted to ask you was like I'm having trouble like finding a niche because like I like do so much shit. Like obviously I played football.
I don't think you need to find a niche. I think your niche is that you are that human being.
Yeah.
Football, After Effects, small town kid.
Yeah.
I'm sure 17 other things you haven't told me yet.
Yeah.
Your niche is you, the human.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, I need a niche, which actually means I need to stay narrow in something and just talk about football.
Yeah.
That's the reverse. You need to be as broad as possible, but fully you, which becomes your niche. That's me.
Yeah.
I talk about, the Jets. I talk about sports cards. Yeah. I talk about wine. Yeah. I talk about business, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not a niche. I'm broad as My niche is that I'm Gary.
Yeah.
That's your niche.
And
that's right, because I'm so pumped Brandon came to film because that's like one of the better ways I've articulated. It's crazy, bro. Good news, you're about to be in a video that a lot of people are gonna watch. That just helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
Similar to when I said document, don't create.
Yeah.
Your niche is you, the human. Everyone's holding back their full self, and then they're like, okay, I'm only showing people 3 parts of me, and I gotta pick one. So they go this narrow instead of being them. And that actually is the macro niche.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, because like everyone on YouTube like watching how to grow and shit, it's all about like you have to pick a niche, like be SEO, like that's how you do stuff, but in reality
that's
like,
transactional. Yeah. That's how you get subscribers and views, but long term, don't build actually something meaningful.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? You understand?
100%.
Dude,
yeah.
like.
Okay, am I back? What'd you think? I bleeped out the swear words. There were quite a few. Now, let me ask you this. I'm looking at the chat. Did that video and this the time we spent here together so far, did this give you a little bit of a paradigm shift of how you want to create content and put out there? Did it? For me, it did. It was my rebirth. It was literally my rebirth. Now, I want to get this right because I don't want to miss anything. When I say rebirth or resurrection of Marc Lalonde, I murdered the transactional mindset Marc. I killed him. I go, I'm not going to be an upfront sales guy no more. I don't know if some of my mentors would appreciate this statement, but I killed sales. Excuse me. Too much of this. You know it's live when. I would have cut that out for sure. So guys, let's see. Okay, good. Is it, I'm going to ask you, is it kind of refreshing? Is it kind of refreshing the fact that you get to share yourself and your journey more than being so boxed into your content? Now, I know I'm going to get off track because I'm very passionate about this rebirth. I killed the transactional mindset Marc, which means I killed the sales process, the upfront sales process. Buy my stuff because it's the best. I killed that. I did well, but I was going to get the sales. They weren't coming to me. I killed it. What did I rebirth? I gave birth to value providing, non-agenda driven Marc who shares pieces of himself along the way. For free. Value Marc for free. That was my rebirth. So when I say shares his journey, those are I call them my adventures and my travels. I document my failures. I have a fan base who follows me and they see me when I slip. I mean, including alcohol. I don't drink. I used to drink. I used to take drugs. I don't take drugs. There was one moment in time where I slipped. I shared it. Is it risque? Not to me. It was literally like taking a... Did I sell more stuff? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do I share more? Do I sell more stuff when I talk about my love for cats? Hell yeah. Connections are created at scale now. So that was my rebirth. Kind of like an awakening, okay? Revelation. I finally changed. Atonement, they may call it, in the hero's journey, which is a resurrection, a rebirth. Now, here was the problem. I'm about to receive a big gift. And this is going to be the coolest part of this entire webinar for me. Are you guys already going to, like with what you have seen so far, have you gotten value, and will this change your way of creating content? Does it make sense to you? Because I don't need to ask you if you think I'm right. I'm going to use one of Gary's lines. I know I'm right. I know I'm right because I wake up with an inbox every single morning of people asking me about what kind of cat I'm getting, or that they're proud of me because I quit alcohol, or because how my mom's doing in her treatments right now. All the things that I talk about that are non-business related have changed my entire business and the way I do business and the way I provide content. Now, here was the problem. This is where we're going to a brand resume, a central location for all your stuff. Social media is scattered. I put content out there. This is going to get really fun for me. I'm going to show off a little bit. Social media is a little bit everywhere. You don't own the social media. What if somebody wants to watch more of you? What do? They scroll down your Instagram, or they go down and look at your Facebook timeline. Come on, really now? Your Twitter timeline? What if you had a kick-ass piece of content that has to do with making more sales? 3 questions you need to ask your prospect in order to close them instantly. But you did it a year ago, and it still works well today. And if someone sees that, they're in. They're like, I want to work with you. I don't care what you sell. I don't care what you do. I saw that video. I'm in. To what I want to work with you is what they're going to say. Or I want to buy from you. If you think that's not true, it's very true. Now here was the problem. And here's where I received the gift. This is going to be a humble brag. My mentor, Gary Vaynerchuk, was leaning towards the idea of a brand resume. And he was leaning towards this just a month ago. He had that revelation. He said, what if I have a spot where I put all my videos and it could be searchable and people could look up like all my content library? He even said that. And I'm like, holy schnutz. Can't swear on these things. I said, I talked about this 2 years ago when I did it. I started a brand resume 2 years ago. Now, I'm not saying, I don't know, maybe Gary Vee saw my video and copied me. I'm not quite sure. I'm joking. I don't know. No, he didn't. He didn't. But great minds think alike. That's another joke. I'm excited now because what I'm about to share with you is going to change your entire business. It's your brand resume. A place online, a blog, where all your content is housed, where it's all there, it's accessible, and everything you've ever created is your resume. What does your resume contain? Well, your resume will contain things like about you. Doesn't your job resume contain that? Yeah, about me. Should have an about you. It should have your experiences. Does a job resume have that? Of course. Of course. But instead of having your job experiences here, your content is your experiences because you're documenting your journey. Do you see the coalition? And that's probably the wrong word. Do you see the similarities? Your accolades, your wins, your awards, you would put that on your resume, your job resume. Why don't you have a brand resume sharing that in the business world? Think about it here. Think about it. Your references, you have references in a job resume. In a brand resume, we call them testimonials. Okay? Do you have who here has a brand resume? Just like a job resume online. It's going to be the mandatory thing. Nobody's doing it. Not the way I'm about to show you. No way. If you had a brand resume, like a job resume that was perfectly built, the way I'm going to show you, you are going to get sales come to you all the time, without fail. Someone wants to know something about you, instead of saying, oh, you go, here's my resume. Go check it out. And when they could, within 2 clicks, access any of your content that you've ever done, including your accolades, your experiences, your testimonials, all in one spot, it's over. They're going to fall into the Marc Lalonde rabbit hole, which is me. They're going to go, oh, then there's this, then there's that. Everything's 2 clicks away. This brings me back to my consulting days. When I consulted in computers, I could not fill all the job offers I got. And this is where something clicked. This is where Gary Vee talked about this a month ago. 1 month ago. I'm going to prove it to you. It's like he invented it. It was unbelievable. I'm like, dude, I did that. I publicly came out with this in a video, and I called it the clog. I called it the clog in a video, and I implemented it. Nobody else was doing it like at this level. I called it a clog because it's a content log. Where, anyways, it's a brand resume is what it is. So when I was in the consulting world, I had a 28-page resume. I did. And I had my picture on it. Things they tell you not to do that. But with every experience I had, every new job, I worked 32 jobs in computers. I was a consultant. Every job brought value to the resume. So I would add it. I had a 28-page resume, and I had a resume, 1-page resume summary that had cross-reference it. I did this. I was a database analyst at this company. Go on page 18 of the full resume, for details. So when I would apply for jobs, I had it was a 2-page, because it was 28 pages in the full one. So they could look at this resume summary, and if they wanted more on that, they would go and check out the guts of it. Okay? People used to laugh at me all the time. But while they were laughing at me, they were looking for work. And while they were laughing at me, I had job offers coming in left and right. Okay? So as I got more jobs, I remember at one point it was at like a dozen pages, and I was getting more jobs than anybody. Then I got another job. It went up to like 16 pages, 18 pages, 20. And the more content I had on my full resume, it was unbelievable. It was like job offers were coming in so much that I said, look, I can't even work for you for $500 a day because I'm so much in demand. Look, they want to hire me. They want to hire me. You'll have to pay me $600 a day just because of supply and demand. They're like, done. If you say yes right now. So I'm like, okay, that relates here. A brand resume, the fuller it is, the more they can look at your stuff. Are you with me? Okay? Are you with me? You guys agree so far? I hope you do. I hope some of you make this jump and create your brand resume. Now, what I want to do is I want to show off a little bit. May I? I want to share, and this will be great for documentation. I want to share when I had this idea of a clog. I'm not saying I invented the idea. I'm just saying at this point, I was reborn. I was resurrected. I was providing pieces of me, just like you saw in the Gary Vee video. My brand was evolving. I was reborn as a value for free, and let's share about me. I wrote that down somewhere. Where is it? I wrote it down. I wrote it down. I want to say, what is that? I want to say it because it was good. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. I kept branding myself. I don't want to miss anything. So, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Yeah. You know, I did a full search. No, I got to share the content log. Would you guys like to see what I still call it a clog. What I'd like to do right now, I'd like to plug in to show off the clip of me when I announced this to the world on an Ask Lalonde show. Yes, I modeled my Ask Lalonde, my last name, Ask Lalonde show, modeled after the Ask Gary Vee show. I model a lot of Gary Vee's stuff. Obviously, he's my main man. He's my main mentor. So when I made that decision of a content log, I just started doing it. And it's evolved since. You're going to see the newest version. And when Gary Vaynerchuk mentioned it last month, I couldn't find that clip. If any of you find that clip, let me know, please. I'd love to, on the next webinar I do, my next brand resume training I do, I'd like to include it. But what I did find was just last week, someone asked him about it. What about the Gary Vee search engine? That's what he calls it. I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's exactly what I'm doing. So my mind is blown. I'm like, oh my God, like this is amazing. I've been doing the thing that he just started doing, but I've been doing it for a long time. I'm on the right track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the clip of him first. Yeah, him talking about it, how excited he is about it. Find everything in one spot about me. And then I'm going to share the clip of me saying it from 2 years ago. I'm doing what Gary Vee does to himself, but I'm doing it about Gary Vee. It's fun. It's fun because I was right. I was very right. My results prove I was right, but what validates my decision to go this way, brand resume, is that Gary Vee is doing it. So I'm going to even compare. Mine's been up forever. I've remodeled it over the years, the 2 years, but we'll look at mine and we'll look at the one he just released. I was on the right track. It's like God gave it to me, that idea, but it was based on my consulting education. Are you with me? So I'm going to share those clips. Then I'm going to share what they both look like. And then after that, you should be changing. You should be working on your brand resume. I hope I've given you enough juice to really think about how to do that. And I will help you if you want, okay? At the end, after I show those videos, show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you also my when I got everything that's resulted in, top of leaderboards, all that stuff. I'm going to share with you some of my results. I can even show you some income that comes from that, from my brand resume. I'll show you me on my TV spot. I'll show you a couple of images of uncomfortable situations at first when you're not used to speaking and people want to pay you to speak. You just do it. Get out of your comfort zone. I'm going to share some stuff with you. But first and foremost, I want to share you Gary Vee saying it just last week, but he said it a month before. That was when he discovered that idea or thought of it. And I'm going to show you mine from 2 years ago, and then we're going to keep on going. Okay, let me know when you see my screen, please, in the chat. Please. Okay, can you guys see and hear my screen, please? Can you hear me and see my screen, please? That'd be awesome if you let me know in the chat, because I'm on a different mic for screen sharing. This is not an injected clip. I'm playing this right from YouTube, so the sound should pick up. Here we go. To summarize, this just happened last week, and Gary Vee was asked about his new brand resume. His brand resume concept. No, he was asked about his search engine, which, as you will see, is exactly what we are about to implement and what I've implemented, as you will see. So let me play this little clip.
How's your Gary Vee search engine going? What was the idea behind that or the plan?
The idea of that was we built it for ourselves. So we were using it for ourselves. Now we've made it front facing. We've given it a little push. We're going to give it a bigger push. We're making it better and better. At some point I'm going to really push it. It's great. You're sitting here, you're going to fly back to Australia and be like, fuck, I wanted to ask him about this. You can literally type that in and fucking find it if I've said it. It's fucking gnarly. Plus we're systematically structuring the data for voice. Hey Alexa, I want to speak to Gary. Gary, how would I manage a manager who's poison? And then I'm going to start talking. I have to be careful to not show how strategic it all is, you know, because my team it's been written, is what I will tell you.
It's been written by Marc Lalonde. This is where we discovered this idea. I'm being facetious. Okay, so that's what Gary revealed the other week. We're going to go look at his search engine, and you will see that it is our brand resume. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go to my video from 2 years ago, just to show you how much we are on the right track. Let's go. Okay, so I'll just open it. I have it in another tab here. The reason I don't like doing the screen share, I rather inject videos, is because, as you noticed, I'm kind of immune to it, but I wasn't able to clip Gary's language there, okay? I apologize, guys, for all of you watching. I'm so immune to it. I'm like, I don't think he swears in that clip. And yeah, he swore like 3 or 4 times. He dropped the F-bomb. And since we're live, I'll know for next time, never, note to self, never inject a Gary Vaynerchuk video in your live broadcasts without checking them first, or never screen share him, just for that reason. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to take full responsibility. So here we go. We are going back to April 2018, episode 24 of the Ask a Lalonde show. Here we go. We're going to talk one day about what a clog is. The clog is the answer. I don't think anybody's using that. Have you guys heard of a clog? Not a blog, not a vlog, but a clog? I don't know if it exists. I made it up this morning. Do you guys know does that exist? I don't think it does. Clog, C-L-O-G. Doesn't exist? Because I'm coining the term. If it doesn't exist, I'm coining clog. Right now, you heard it here today, right now. You guys want to know what a clog is? Hey, Carlene, I'll stalk you too. I'll stalk you. Anybody tuning in, I'm doing some stalking. Who wants to be stalked? Now we'll have somebody tuning in and going, Mark, stalk me, please. Please stalk me, with the wrong idea, if you know what I'm saying. It's pretty unfiltered, right? So, who wants to know what a clog, C-L-O-G? Hey, this will be fun. I get to reveal what's going on in this thing. This is going to be, this is going to be am I allowed to do a bold statement? This is going to be a real bold statement. Real bold statement. I want to redefine the way blogs and vlogs are built and displayed. I want to redefine it. Let me explain. Who knows what vlog stands for? The V in, who knows, who can tell me what vlog stands for? Some people don't know. What does vlog, V-L-O-G, stand for? I want to know. We're going to get some interaction today. You got it, Michael Drake. Video log. Video log, vlog, right? Yeah. It's video log. V is for video log. Who knows what blog stands for? Who knows what the B is? A lot of people don't know that either. So video, it's actually video log. Vlog. Blog, the B stands for something else. Okay, the B, a lot of people don't know this. It's derived from weblog. Then people kept saying back in the Netscape Navigator days, those of you who remember dial-up, it was weblog. And then even before that, it was that. Just weblogs, MS-DOS, like I'm talking like command line stuff. And then it just became weblog, blog. So the B doesn't stand for anything. It just comes from weblog. So a blog is generally a weblog, like written word, written text. A vlog is video stuff, like Gary V, for example. Who knows Gary Vaynerchuk? You will rarely see him write a whole page of text. Okay? So it's a video log. Chris Record, a vlog. It's a video log. There's just a little bit of text, then it's all video, all videos. And then some people like Michaela Alexis, that'll be text with an image. So some people blog, some people vlog. I recommend both, of course. A nice article with a video. The way the proper structure, actually, I just recently figured this out. Some people say, put the video, then put the text below for SEO and stuff. Some people say put the text first and then have the video at the bottom. It's good to have the title, then have the video below text, then put half intro to your article, and then put the video, and then put the rest of the article. But I'm still researching that for the optimum clog post. Okay. Who's ready for clog? Who's ready for what clog is? Clog is a content log. Now let me explain. When you go to a blog or a vlog, you're faced with, in my opinion, you guys be real with me here. Tell me what you think. I know the clog dance. Just tell me what you think. I find that on a clog, not everything is easily accessible in 2 clicks. 2 clicks is the magic number. So everything you've ever done in your career, is it accessible in 2 clicks from anywhere on your clog, content log? It's a library. It's not a blog, it's a library. It's your library. All the books are laid out. I want to read about the 5-second rule. There it is. I could see it up there. I'm going to go grab that book. I'm on the Wealthy Trainer clog on my blog. We'll call it a blog for now because we haven't really put clog out there. But on my blog, the whole goal is if you want to see my podcast, or if you want to see my interviews or my testimonials, or you want to see my webinars, my paid ones and my free ones, or you want to see my content on health, or you want to see my content on wealth, or you want to see my life lessons learned, you are always 2 clicks away from any of that anywhere you are. So the library is always there. I believe that's going to be the future. It's your online resume. It's your online resume. Give me 2 more weeks. Go to thewealthytrainer.com. You'll see what I mean. So when somebody says, what do you do, Mark? thewealthytrainer.com. Knock yourself out. Yeah, but I want to know, like, what do you do? Just go there. Just go there. It'll be so solid. Work with Marc. Ask Marc a question. Marc's bookmark. Marc's question period. And life hacks. Like, it's just, you'll look at the way it's built. Just go to thewealthytrainer.com. It's not full yet. My content has to be populated. And I'm doing a breadcrumbs to make it all. Everything needs to be 2 clicks away. So you'll be able to get to anything I put out there in 2 clicks. Okay, make sense? We're going to demo that. We're going to do a webinar on that. That's a little more advanced, but not really. Because here's the thing. Your blog is we'll go blog. Your blog is a reflection of you. Your blog is you in digital format. So every time you do a video or a piece of content with intention, so I talk about bullying in one of my pieces of content. Bullying. That'll go in the category, I call it random life hacks. So I have a category like that. So whenever I have something on my mind, bullying has not, I was bullied, didn't last very long though. I turned that one around quick. But the lessons I've learned in my experience to being bullied, what is valuable to many people, especially in today's day and age. So I make a piece of content like that and I put it in my library. And the fact that I'm putting it in my library, opposed to just doing a live on it and it dwindles away and I syndicate it and that's it, that's all, is day and night. And I'll tell you why. Somebody goes to your blog and they go to check out one post. I got the sweat going. This is the Diva Light, I'm telling you. And they go to one of your blog posts and then they go, oh my God, what else is here? And they start going into that rabbit hole of yours. They get hooked. They're like, what else? It's a library. It's your own physical, digital library. And people will keep coming back, not only for what's going to come out tomorrow, they'll do that, but they're going to get to see every little piece of you just by you sharing one post. If they like your post, what I like to do is I like to cut off my videos. Now, you'll see in my new brand, I'm launching my new brand in about a month, my whole new Wealthy Trainer brand. Branding YOUniversity is one of my companies. The Wealthy Trainer is my brand. If I didn't successfully brand myself, how could I teach branding, right? So I'm getting those numbers up. I'm getting those social media numbers up. And it makes sense. That wasn't even an answer to a question, was it? Okay. So I can't believe I was following Gary Vee for a long time, obviously. As I'm rewatching this with you guys. So, as you can see, it's clear that I was copied by Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm joking. But this was the birth or the seed. I call it a clog in this video, but that is the brand resume. Couple of things to note here is, wow, look at that video quality, right? We always evolve. It's funny watching back at this. And what's really cool is that I do have multiple companies and they're all doing well because of my brand resume, guys. I'm going to show them to you now. I'm going to show you Gary Vee's search engine that he just released. And I'm going to show you my brand resume. Now, this is you, by the way. Your brand resume is you in digital format. Your brand resume is your top of funnel to anything you do. Gary Vee even says that. Here we go. Gary Vee even says that. He goes, the reason VaynerMedia is so booming is because of him. You are the entry point to anything you do. Okay, so now what I want to do is, I just want to say, I want to demonstrate visually why I believe a brand resume is more powerful than a personal search engine. Okay? I'll tell you right now, because it's a personal search engine and more. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you what Gary Vee's blog looks like and Gary Vee's search engine looks like. And I'm going to show you what my brand resume looks like. Basically, it's not basically, it's everything in one. So let me go there now. Okay, there we go. We got the big window now. So I got the whole window. Can you guys see Gary's blog? Now, I love Gary Vaynerchuk. I owe everything to Gary Vaynerchuk. I always like to take what I learn, take pages from different books, apply them to what I'm doing, test the crap out of them based on what I learn. Once I test them, get results, analyze my results and my metrics, and try to tweak and come up with a better solution, like any entrepreneur does. So I started by saying that I owe everything to Gary Vaynerchuk, pretty much. A lot of it. I tore a big page from his books, okay? And I mean that like figuratively, okay? And I did tear some pages out of his other books too. They're on my corkboard right here. But here we go. This is Gary's blog. This is Gary's search engine that just came out. This is the Wealthy Trainer blog. So we're going to go through a couple of things and a couple of observations. I want you to look at this as a brand resume because this is what this is all about. It's about your resume. A couple of things to notice too are, let's assume people don't know you yet, okay? With Gary, if someone comes here and they don't know who he is, okay, they have to dig a little bit. It's amazing. It's very crisp. It's very clear. But if you want to dig into his content, and you'd go to blog, right? And you start searching, and again, it'd be the same kind of dilemma, or not dilemma, but the same challenge of what if you wanted to find something on a specific topic, or you wanted to see everything in one place instead of going through scrolls down here. You could search, so you'd go up here, click on the search bar, and let's say I want money. Perfect. Now I'm going to get his blog post with money, but once again, the same challenge. Not everything is in your face. So when he announced that he would have a search engine, I'm going to it right now. This is what I envisioned in the clog or the brand resume. This is what I'm talking about. This is absolutely, and this was the vision. This is the vision of a brand resume. Now, if you don't know who Gary Vee is, that's an issue. Why do you want to search all his stuff? I'm not saying you don't want to. It's crazy powerful, but let's test it out. Let's look up money here. This is what I'm talking about. It's all there. Now, I'm just going to show you a couple of things with our brand resume. These are two places. I believe they should be in one place. I believe a brand resume is your identity. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I know I'm right on this. Everything should be in one place. Your about, your testimonials, your books, your interviews, whatever else you have going on. I also, and again, I love Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm just showing you guys that when you're playing at this high of a level, you want to have your highlights, if you will, highlighted on your front page. And that's what we've done with the brand resume. Now, if you look at the top bar here, you can get access to any piece of content you want. Now, let me show you what I mean by that. If I was to go to life hacks, wealth hacks, since we're talking about money, I were to click that, what you get is instant access to every piece of content I've ever done on one page. if you wanted to go up in the menu and gander, I want to see interviews. Let's go to interviews. You have every single interviewed or TV show or anything I've done in terms of me being interviewed on one page. Does it look familiar? Let's go back to Gary's search engine. Does it look familiar? You see what I'm saying? When he released this and I looked at it literally last week, I was like, this is it. This is it. Now the main differences are on our resume, all the categories are so clear on every page. Testimonials, there we go. What people are saying about Marc Lalonde, the wealthy trainer. You want to go to shows? Let's go to the Ask Lalonde show. 1 click, 2 clicks. Okay, it's that simple. You can either play the way you can play the videos is pretty simple. You just basically click on the video itself, and there it is. Now, what I really love about this, I'm not comparing, but I am comparing, because look at this beautiful description that's picking up in SEO on the side. This is incredible. On every video, people could go watch it in full view and read about me. My name is Marc Lalonde. The whole story's here. My mentors are Gary Vaynerchuk. So, I mean, if you look at Gary's search engine and you look at our brand resume, it's essentially kind of the same thing, but all in one place. Now, I like the level of detail. I think it's important to have a level of detail. I'll go to interviews. And again, the categories go deep. I think I'm up to 400 pieces of content thus far. But if you were to look at the detail on the initial page, so before clicking on a video, there's so much detail. Your brand resume, right? It's in your face. The less digging they have to do to find what they want to find about you, the better. I said 2 clicks away, my dream has come true. If you go here, there's not much here. There's a lot of wasted white space. I know he's working on it. Gary, feel free to copy my stuff. Okay, guys, that was a stupid joke. I couldn't help it. I'm having fun here. But Gary's doing okay. He's on the right track. Again, I'm going to stop. The day we meet, he's going to tear me apart if he ever sees this. So there it is, guys. This is the brand resume. This is how I get everything. This is how business is attracted to me. Once I send people here, they come here. And I'm going to ask you guys, how do you feel about all this? Do you feel it's important to have a brand resume? I also want to show something here. There is also a blog on this brand resume, but I wanted to have it in vlog format at the top so that people can have super easy access to any of the shows I've done, any of the, like if you look, you could pick any show in 1 click. Again, this is sharing a lot about me. I'm not even selling a weight loss product now, but I share my weight loss journey because I lost 52 pounds of body fat in 2 months and I documented that. And also, just like a resume, I have an about right here. And this has my entire story from beginning to end. And as you can tell, I keep updating this story and populating it. It's got my story, it's got the entire story, and it's got images throughout. And then, of course, you've got the people I've met, the people I've learned from, the people I've done collaborations with. You've also got, here's my TV appearance. So as I get new experiences, or as I move along my journey, I just continuously update my, that's right, my resume. So if you were to meet me online, or if you were to stumble upon me and you saw a piece of content of me online and you clicked and ended up right here on my resume, would you be more likely to contact me and work with me, or open up some kind of communication with me, or let's get to it, would you be more inclined to buy my stuff or join me in my journey after digging through my resume? Would you be more inclined to do that? Would you be more inclined to contact me if you're a news channel after you've read my story, after you've consumed some of my content, after you've gone on to, let's say, they want to learn. I do a lot of corporate work. I got a lot of corporations that want me to train them on online marketing and personal branding. And they're saying, we're contacting you because we went to your webinar section and we started scrolling down and we started scrolling down and we kept scrolling down. And some of these trainings blew our mind. Like if you look at the Amazon device training, that's an award-winning one. But I'm just saying, all I do is I keep populating my resume, populating my resume, populating my resume, and populating my resume. And the next thing you know, just like my 28-page technical job resume in the real world, where jobs were coming in left and right, well, guess what? I'm populating this just like I did that resume, and the same results are taking place. Is this making sense to you guys? If you did not know me, like 99% of people do not, well, more than 99%, I don't mean in the world, I mean people just don't know me when they first stumble upon me. If you were to land on this, The Wealthy Trainer, it's pretty obvious what I do. If you look at this scrolling menu that automatically slides through, it tells you what I am, what I do. It shows you what I look like. It shows you all my content. It shows you everything a resume should, which would be my about you, my experiences, my accolades, my wins, my awards, my references, of course, in forms of testimonials. And not only does this attract sales to me for people wanting to buy my stuff or join my teams or whatever I'm doing, it gets me speaking gigs, it gets me television appearances, podcast, radio guest appearances by 8-figure earners, by the way, who are interviewing me. It attracts massive connections to me. And there you have it. I think I made my point. My question now is, do you have a brand resume or do you only have a job resume? My next question is, are you an entrepreneur who is trying to sell more stuff? And my third question is, if you do not have a brand resume, will you make one? Will you build one? Will you begin the process of putting one together by building content, by making content and populating your brand resume? I really, really hope so. Now you have enough today to go do this. If you have the paradigm shift I hope I've given you, you can go out there and you can start doing this. And I really, really hope you do. Now, as I put mine together, as I built this thing, you know, because I just proved it to you, I just showed you. I've gone through tons of pitfalls. I've been working on this thing for years. Since the inception of it came into my mind, which is 2 years ago, with the clog, I've been struggling with pitfalls. I've had ups, I've had downs, I've had all arounds. Now I'm finally here. I have a brand resume that's delivering on its promise. So what I'm asking you is, do you want me to help you set yours up? Do you want me to help you build your brand resume, get the shell in place, go through all the basics of creating your content and populating your brand resume as you gain your experiences? If the answer is no, you can do it yourself, I am super pumped up for you because I really truly do believe I've given you enough to start digging, to start testing, and to start actually producing and creating. I really believe you have enough. You just have to put in some elbow grease, start using Google and YouTube to get the technicalities figured out along the way, and don't quit. Get it together, because once this brand resume is in place, all you need to do is focus on providing content to your brand resume, and I promise you, the rest will take care of itself. I have people that stumble upon this brand resume and they will tell friends and tell coworkers and tell peers. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help some of you. I'm super excited. I put something together to not only facilitate the process of having you create your own brand resume, but it's pretty well taking you by the hand the whole way through. So let me share this screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen that says social media is the new Hollywood? I'm going to give you guys a little clap. Are you guys still with me? Please let me know in the chat. I'm looking in the chat right now. Hello, hello, hello. We are live right now. Can you see social media is the new Hollywood? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me type it into the chat. You're going to need this link later because I'm basically giving away what I put together to get your brand resume going. Let me type it in now. Give me a sec. Okay, I'm in the chat. Let me just type that in right now. There it is. Social media is the new Hollywood. So this is the website where I host a course that's called, you guessed it, Brand Resume. Don't worry about the $2,000. I'm basically going to give it away to you for free right now. But I got to be completely transparent, okay, guys? We've sold about 1,200 of these so far. It's been released for a couple of months now, maybe, yeah, about a month and a half now. So let's be completely transparent here, guys. I know some of you have the course that are on here tonight. I know this for sure. I recognize some of the names. Some of you are crushing it. I'm going to go ahead and click this and just put it in the chat. Who has Brand Resume? Who has the course? Which is basically what I've done from scratch to build thewealthytrainer.com. So some of you have it, yes. Now, some of you probably have it, but haven't started to execute on it, right? Some of you, those of you who have it, how far have you gone through it? What did you think of it? Because, I mean, when we created this course, we did it live. I'm going to go through the outline really quickly, and then I'm going to tell you guys how you can pick it up tonight for not $2,000. Is it worth $2,000? It's worth way more than $2,000. I'm going to do a couple of things tonight. Number one, I'm not going to oversell it. That's really rare for me. So this will be the quickest sales pitch you've ever heard. This may catch some of you by surprise. Catch some of you by surprise? Yeah, I said that properly. You guys know, many of you know, who follows me? Some of you that are on here that do follow me, you know I teach to extend the sales process in a webinar at the offer at the end. Now we're going really transparent here. It's my new thing. I'm not going to extend this sales pitch because I'm going to basically give it to you tonight for absolutely pretty well nothing. And when I say that, you may agree, you may not agree. It's worth way more than $2,000. We're going to go through the outline of what you will get instantly after you pick it up tonight. But this will be the quickest pitch I've ever done. Why am I doing it quickly? Well, mostly because I'm excited about the bonus you guys are going to get. I want to ask you guys something right now before I go through what this course covers. It basically goes into detail everything I talked about tonight, except it's very tactical. We get into the nitty-gritty, which is the nitty-gritty. It's a how-to course. We did it over a 1-week period. We covered 10 modules in 1 week live. So I am creating these modules in front of a live audience, as you'll notice. But these are the, obviously, replays cut out into 10 modules. And don't let the fact that it took me 1 week to run the show here to create these modules, because some of these weeks were 2 and 3 hours long, and we had to break them up into modules. And it's literally the amalgamation of all of my knowledge over the past 5 years, guys. Literally. So it's not just like I didn't just get on for a week and just speak it out. This is everything to me. My brand resume is everything to me, and I already feel myself overselling it because I'm passionate about it. But many of you will be shocked. This will be super short. I'm going to drop a price, but what I'm also equally as excited about is the bonus. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through the curriculum. I'm going to go through the modules really quick, what they entail of. I may dive into them in a little bit, but first I will drop the offer tonight. I'll give you the coupon code if you want to pick it up tonight for the special price, which is not $2,000. And I will let you know what the bonus is. Because the bonus to me it's blowing my mind. I was going to say the bonus is blowing my mind more than brand resume itself, but that's just because I just discovered something, guys. I just won the lottery, and I just won the lottery literally last week. And when I say won the lottery, I cracked a code on a certain platform that many of you are probably not even aware that I'm using. And it's changing my life. It's sending traffic to my brand resume for free like I've never imagined before. I'm going to ask you guys a question right now, and then I'm going to drop the price. I'm going to give you guys the bonus. Those of you who purchase it tonight, those of you who already have brand resume and don't have the bonus I'm about to offer, because this bonus is only for tonight. I don't want anybody knowing about this bonus. You will not hear this anymore. This is something that I will not be including in any of my future webinars, this bonus, including my automated webinars. Some of you know I run automated webinars. Many of you do. And I will not be including this bonus. I will omit this portion from any future training I have, this bonus that I'm adding to brand resume. Anyone who picks up brand resume tonight. Let me ask you guys this. I'm looking at the chat. I'm going to actually type it in as I'm asking you the question right now in the chat. And my question is, who uses Pinterest? Enter. There it is in the chat. Who uses Pinterest? Who has a Pinterest account? Let me know, do you use Pinterest? Let me know, do you have Pinterest? Let me know, do you know what Pinterest is? Put it in the chat. I'm looking at you guys right now in the chat. We're going to get into that in literally about no squirrels tonight. Pinterest is not a squirrel. Before we get into Pinterest, let's get to the task at hand. Pinterest, something I found out in Pinterest is, you're about to find out what I found out. Okay, so stick around. It's going to be, give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Brand resume. I don't need to go too much into detail into the modules. We have the original brand presentation, the brand resume presentation, which will be this actual webinar, the first portion of it that you guys sat through tonight. I always upload the latest version up here. This is module 1. This is actually free, so you guys can re-watch the replay of tonight here. I always upload the newest one, so you'll get the most recent presentation. I am doing brand resume presentations pretty frequently moving forward, but you will not see a discount like I'm about to offer you tonight. I generally drop this $2,000 to anything between $1,000 and $1,500, depending on my testing. We're going to go way below $1,000 tonight. Tonight, we're basically giving it away. I said that 5 times. Let's go. Module number 1 is this replay of this presentation, but that's free to everyone. Then we begin with job resume versus brand resume. I kind of briefly went through that tonight, but we go into detail here. This was really in-depth. Differences and similarities, comparing my real job resume with my real brand resume. Then we go into the 2 brand resume goals. The 2 goals are to attract people to you as a person, opposed to your skills, your product, and your service. and to have people contact you through a form on your brand resume. We also talk about pixelization, which is retargeting, which is putting in your Google tag, your G tag, which is putting in your LinkedIn site tag for LinkedIn, which is putting in your Facebook pixel. All this stuff is so that people go, when they land on your brand resume, you can retarget to them. They become part of your audience. Let's go a little faster. Brand resume musts when adding. Has this content helped me, and can it help others? We talk about how to create content, valuable content, which is a reflection of you, so that people can know, like, and trust you. Accepting the attract repel concept. That's all for the haters that will come your way as you start to get more influential. I'm kind of going with the flow here, but these are extremely tactical. Wouldn't you guys agree? Those of you who have taken brand resume, would you agree that we do not leave any stone unturned when building this thing? Brand resume core components. Your story, huge component to pay attention to. Your passions, for me it would be wealth and health. Those are examples. Your experiences, documenting your journey and story stitching. Your lessons learned, random section. Your value, which would be in the form of webinars and interviews. Your credibility, which would be in the form of testimonials. I'm telling you guys, we do not leave any stones unturned here. We build all this from scratch. We build the menu, as you'll see below here. We build a full menu to your brand resume. I'm going to keep going. We got the viral hit theory. The bonus tonight, which yes, does involve Pinterest. I'll say it again because I'm super excited about it. The viral hit theory, I'm going to read what it says in the bullets, then I'll tell you what it really represents in one sentence here. Viral hit theory. Think like an artiste. Be yourself. Be consistent. Be ready. This is something I rarely talk about. I think I only really talk about it in this course on the inside. This is when you have your brand resume set up and you start going, you go fishing. You start creating all kinds of content in the hopes that one of those pieces will go viral. This is super important to continue to do on trending topics, because you never know what will go viral. And once something does go viral, by you being yourself and you consistently throw this out there, I say be ready, because when a viral video guides people back to your brand resume, that is your vein of gold. And then they could dive into all of your content on your brand resume. And that's when you really cross the business chasm, or chasm as they say, and you reach the masses. I have not had a viral video yet, but I'm right around the corner, and I think tonight's bonus will help as well. Some of you are probably just going to want the bonus tonight, and I'll tell you how you can get the bonus on its own without getting brand resume, but I'll tell you something right now. It won't serve you any if you've got nowhere to guide people to. If you want to guide people to a product, that's fine, because the bonus is it's a lucrative bonus. We're putting ourselves in front of a lot of people who like to spend money. I'll leave it at that. I got about 30 seconds left here. Let's go. Next module is build it and they will come. We actually build out your entire brand resume. I created a brand new brand resume from scratch called Fixing Self. So it's just like my Wealthy Trainer brand resume, but I created a brand new one from scratch. As a matter of fact, let me show you that really quickly. So here is my brand resume. As you guys have seen, thewealthytrainer.com. It's got all of my categories, which is instant access to videos just like this. Any videos they want to see, it's loading up. I have a lot of stuff going on my computer right now. We have quite a few people on live as well. So my computer's really working hard. That's why there's a little bit of lag time. And you can go to the blog, so on and so forth. It's very full. Feel free to navigate through it. This is what we replicate in the form of this site, Fixing Self. I'll reload that. This is basically how I fixed myself. It's very, very reflective of me as well. However, it's tailored to me fixing myself, how I fixed myself. Now, these are real things here. I'm going to go through them really quickly. A little uncomfortable. I never launched this brand. Ex-addict, ex-alcoholic. This is all me, by the way. Ex-overweight. What else do we have? I think that's all. That's what I kept it at. Ex-homeless, yes. So yeah, that's enough. I've been in all those dark places, and I managed to fix myself from all those places. But that's not what this is about. What this is about tonight is that I created this from scratch within the brand resume course. From scratch. We do use the Wix platform. If you're asking why we don't use WordPress, why we use Wix, well, I explain that in the course as well. But I will have you know that I have been around for a while, guys. I have used several platforms, and if I'm using Wix, there's probably a good reason why. So let's go back to the course outline. So build it and they will come. Guys, it's unbelievable how much we covered. I believe this session may have gone on 2 or 3 hours. It's pretty intense. We build it. I don't just advise you on how to build it. We build it. Click here, click there, go here, go there. Next module, content formats. Creating your video content, creating your audio voice content, creating your text content, creating your pictures, images content. This is insane. I have to show you guys this. I got to jump back really, really quickly. If I go to the blog, I'm just going to grab any blog post, actually. Let me just go blog here. I'm just going to pick a random blog post to show you how beautiful these blog posts are. Reaping is reserved for planters. I'll just grab that. Look at this blog post. We have the heading. This is all good for SEO. This will all pick up in search engines, okay? We got a nice image that picks up in search engines. We have a text description, okay? The blog itself, the blog text. We have the blog video, the full video. Let it load up. Okay, full video, full content. We have the full podcast episode as well. We have the micro story. This is a blog post. I have maybe 400 of these on my brand resume now. So there you have it. I just had to show you how cool this is and how we create this and build this from scratch in these modules. It's insane. It's crazy. It's a crazy course. Brand resume menu categories, home, blog, passions, shows, showing you how to build your own shows. My shows are on the Wealthy Trainer. If we go to the top, this is the menu, by the way. I have the Ask Lalonde show, I have Sauna Talk, and I have the Transformation Challenge, and I have Selfie Talkie that I'm just adding to my Wealthy Trainer brand resume. It's a very vulnerable show. It's where I talk to myself on my phone like nobody's watching. It's a weird one. But we show you how to build your shows. As a matter of fact, we build out Selfie Talkie and the Ask Lalonde show in the course itself. Let's go back and then create and nurture your content. Start creating and do not stop. Notify, nurture your audience of new content. Schedule your content creation. Be aware of your give versus ask ratio. I could go on about this module a lot, guys, but I won't. We don't have time. I do in the module, but I will say something. The most important thing you can do is create content. If you're in it to sell quickly, to make a quick buck, that won't serve you. It just won't. You're better off. You need to create content. You need to ask yourself, how many pieces of content have you created last month? And how many pieces of content have you added to your brand resume last month? Because once you start nurturing these people, I don't care if you only have 1,000 audience members. I don't care if you have 100. I don't care if you have 20 people that see your content every single week. We release a piece of content every single week. If you're adding that to your brand resume, one piece per week, you're adding to your brand resume on your blog, which is the portion of your brand resume. You're adding a piece of content every week, and the people that are subscribed on your brand resume get nurtured by you once a week. When you sell something, you sell it once. And if you have 1,000 people over time, they will continue to purchase your stuff. Okay, that's brand resume. I could go into it, into the modules, but right now what I'll do is I'm just going to throw you the offer, okay? The offer, tonight only. If you don't do this tonight, you will notice the coupon code will not work. Now, I know I took a lot of time, so I won't actually go into the modules themselves. Maybe I will at the end, but right now I'm excited about giving you the one-time price tonight, and that's it. If you don't think I'm serious, come and check tomorrow and try to put in the coupon code. You will have to pay $2,000, and I have no problem charging $2,000 for this. This is my life's work. My life's work is in the past 5 years. So if you click on buy, you will have the option to enter a coupon code. And the coupon code is, I could do all kinds of things here, okay, guys? I could say it's not going to be 2,000, it's not going to be 1,500, it's not going to be 1,000. I'm just going to give it to you straight. It's going to be $297. So if you put in $297 offer tonight, click apply, it's going to take off $1,703, and this is all you pay tonight, and you will get the bonus I'm about to tell you of right now. So that's the price. That was a quick pitch, wouldn't you guys say? Who knows me here? And who would say that was quick? You got to the point pretty quick. I didn't even get into the modules. That's how confident I am about this course. And that's what the offer is this evening. And there you have it. And you're about to get a bonus. And it's very rare that I'm more excited about the bonus than I am about the course. But in this case, because the bonus I'm about to give you guys, everyone who buys this. Now, it's a Pinterest bonus. The platform Pinterest. Who has heard of Pinterest? This is the offer, guys. Okay? Fair enough? I'm going to move forward. I may dive into the modules after to try to close those of you who haven't purchased. But I think the bonus will do that on its own. Because this bonus is something that I just discovered last week. This bonus is on the platform called Pinterest, and I'm building an audience on Pinterest, and I'm driving traffic from Pinterest for free. That is the reason that's happening is because I figured some stuff out. I cracked some codes. I got lucky. I got very, very, very lucky. So are we clear on this right here, on this offer tonight? If you come back tomorrow and you go in, you come and try it. Even if you purchase, well, if you purchase it, you purchase it. Come and try it tomorrow. Come here and enter the coupon code 297 offer. All lowercase. It's the numbers 297. Do you guys see that on the screen? 297 offer. OFFER. No dashes, no underscores. Now, write it down on a piece of paper right now, because you may be saying, well, I'm not sure. After all I've said tonight, if you're not sure, I would normally kind of like be more persistent on how you need to do this in today's digital age. I would, but tonight I'm not going to. It's really an odd night for me. I don't feel the need to do this. There's only 1,200 people that have the course so far, about maybe 1,300 people in the world, entrepreneurs. And the ones who are doing this and are moving on with, are moving forward with creating a brand resume exactly like I'm teaching you, and I mean exactly, do exactly what I do. I will break an income of 8 figures in a matter of 6 months. And many of you will probably say, well, what are you doing? Like, what is it that you're doing? This is what I'm doing. Brand resume. This is what I'm doing. Okay? That's all I need to say. And I'm not hurting for money. I'm not showing off, but I'm telling you, I'm more focused on creating quality content and adding it to my brand resume than I am about making sales of this stuff. Sales just come. Sales just come. You create content, you nurture your audience. Oh, look at that. Starting your scheduled scan. No, we will run that later. Thank you very much. Whoa. We got a lot of people on right now, and many of you are taking the offer. Welcome. Now, stick around because you got a bonus as well, and you don't have to do anything. The bonus is automatic. So, we're clear on that, right? I don't think we have any questions on that. That was a little longer than I anticipated, but my sales pitches are usually half the length of the webinar presentation, as they should be. But tonight, who's ready for the bonus? Now, here's how it works. Let's go to Pinterest itself. Okay, this is Pinterest. Let me tell you a little something about Pinterest. Pinterest is kind of like an Instagram. I knew nothing about Pinterest a week ago. Well, that's not true. I was on Pinterest for many, many years. I was on Pinterest since the beginning for about 5 years. I recently went back on Pinterest because, as you may have noticed on my brand resume, I'm on all the platforms. I'm also on Facebook now again. I just don't put it here because I don't use Facebook. I just use Facebook for ads. I don't use Facebook for social media. That's a personal thing, but I'm on everything else, even Tumblr. And here it is, Pinterest. And I was thinking, let's just do what I do. Let's put content out there at the same rate, in the same way, and get more people back to my brand resume, right? That's the whole point. They land here, they fall into my retargeting, as we teach you in the course, okay? I'm going to drop that quite often. And Pinterest started acting in a certain way that I was just like, why am I getting thousands, and I mean thousands of people come to my blog every day? Thousands. What am I doing? So I started digging into it, and tell me if you guys agree with me or not. Sometimes the biggest surprises come from the place where no one really is hanging out, it appears, or from the least expected places sometimes. Would you guys agree with that statement? In life, sometimes when you least expect it, where you least expect it? Let me know in the chat. Would you guys agree with that? Sometimes the biggest rewards and biggest surprises pop out of the blue where you would never expect them to. Would you guys agree with that? For sure. For sure. If everybody's doing TikTok, well, then it's hard to get it. It's hard to make it happen on TikTok. If nobody is using Pinterest for the purpose we are doing it for, like personal branding and making sales of our services and courses and digital products or whatever it is we have, putting out valuable video content and valuable content that sits on our brand resume on Pinterest, nobody's really doing that. I'm going to share with you what Gary V's killing it, by the way, on Pinterest. This guy, Gary V, is everywhere. And I don't think he talks about Pinterest too much. You know why? Because I think Gary Vaynerchuk is keeping it to himself. Now you have to know how to do it. I'm going to share Gary V's account in a second here. But with that being said, if you guys agree with that statement, would you also agree with the following statement? Let me grab a sip of my drink here. would you agree with the following statement? That when something is working in a certain area, you should focus more on that, right? I'm doing TikTok. I'm doing my TikTok thing. I'm trying to break those algorithms. I'm trying to make my stuff happen on TikTok. But if I'm getting, 30 people from TikTok per day come to my blog or come to where I want them to come, become leads, which it's not. I'm getting maybe 5, and that's pretty good per day. This is very good. Better than nothing from TikTok alone. And I'm getting 2,000 or 3,000 from Pinterest. Would it not make more sense for me to focus on Pinterest since nobody's talking about it and nobody's there? Would that not make more sense? So that's what I did. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to keep all of these secrets to myself. But before I go on and tell you, some of you, this is the bonus. I'm going to share with you guys something. But first, let's look at some results. I'm going to start here. Where am I going to start? I'm going to start here. I know there's a platform that I used to be with. They're called My Lead System Pro. And they're extremely active on Pinterest. Very active on Pinterest. And I know this because they always have been. They've been very successful on this platform. And when I used to be in this system, this is just like a platform. And I used to look at their Pinterest a lot because they've always had over 1,000, 2,000 monthly viewers. And that's huge. I need to put this into perspective because I cracked a code here, ladies and gentlemen. This is your bonus. This was not supposed to be a bonus. I'm not supposed to teach on this. Pinterest is something I just recently discovered, and I don't know how long my little tricks are going to work for this, because if I teach too many people what I found out, hold on, let me share with you my results over the past week. My Lead System Pro, who knows who they are? They're very successful on Pinterest. They don't talk about it much either. As a matter of fact, one of their leaders do. Her name is April Marie Tucker. Some of you may know her. She was known as Instagram Queen, but she's also a Pinterest princess, I guess. That's huge. 4,000 monthly viewers. These are not followers. This is different. She has more than the platform she's teaching on. Now, they went up from 1,000 or 2,000 from when I used to follow them on Pinterest to 3,000 monthly viewers. Monthly. This is people that tune in every month. I'll take it, right? Wouldn't you take that? How do they do that? I don't know. For the past 4 years, I've been able to get up to, the highest I got was 100 or 80 to 100. I think at one point I had over 100 monthly viewers, and that's good because that's still 100 more people than not on this platform, right? I mean, come on. Now, April Marie Tucker, 4,500 monthly viewers. That's huge, but she's extremely active on here. She definitely knows what she's doing, obviously, 4,500. Now, I went to Gary Vaynerchuk. Now we're talking like stupid numbers. This is ridiculous. That's 106,000 monthly viewers. So yeah, I mean, no wonder the guy's not stressed out. This is huge. This is from Pinterest, and he doesn't talk about it because he knows a couple of things. So what did I do? I start digging into things. You guys that know me, I start digging into things. I'll show you my account in a sec. Pinterest, I want to say something about Pinterest right now. It's like an Instagram, except the people who hang out on Pinterest are buyers. Did you guys know this? Look it up. Google it. People come to Pinterest to buy stuff. That's the Pinterest audience. Instagram, it's not. They're there to look and gawk and drool, and TikTok, same thing. They're not there to spend money. They are on Pinterest. Now I got to be very careful about what I say because I'm going to share with you guys some crazy stuff in the bonus. The bonus is called Pinteresting Results. Pinteresting Results. We'll get to that in a sec. Let me show you my account. 152,000 monthly viewers. I just crossed 100,000. It's because I figured some stuff out. Now let me let me take a breath. Let me enjoy this number for a second. When I was on the actual Pinterest homepage, I didn't want to show you guys, but if you go to the home feed, you see me right at the top, and it says like 152 monthly viewers. That's monthly viewers. Now, here's where the crazy part is. I'm going to go to and this is real time here, by the way, guys. Like, let's go to my analytics. Let's just go to my overview. Okay. So, we are, like, see how it lags a couple of days? It goes to July 13th. It always waits a couple of days before it produces your stats. So, it's going back 2 days here. We are the 16th tonight. But it goes to July 14th. So, I figured something out here. And don't worry, I'm not going down, I'm going back up. I'm learning how to break Pinterest. But I want you guys to understand something. Look at, since the beginning of time, I may get, if you look at June 15th, 10 monthly users, 10 monthly viewers, 10. 15, 0, 0, 0. That's why when I say on a good month, I may, if I'm having a good month, a couple of 100 monthly viewers. And when I say a couple of 100, I don't mean a couple of 100,000. I mean a couple of 100 monthly viewers. That's why when I see something like this, 4,000 monthly viewers, that's outrageous. No wonder these people are doing so well. These are buyers who hang around on Pinterest. Now, when you look at Gary Vee and then you look at me, let's look at these. Let's look at this. This is 152,000, and look when it happened. I recently just discovered something, guys. When I say I won the lottery, it's because I work my ass off, and sometimes I strike a vein of gold. But right here, I struck a vein of diamonds, and I can't believe it. The first thing I said to myself was, I'm not telling. You know who I'm telling? Nobody. I'm not telling anyone how I'm doing this because nobody knows. I just surpassed Gary Vaynerchuk on Pinterest. And guess what? I did it in a matter of days. This 152 will be over 1 million in a 30-day period. Could you give it a week? I'll be up over 200,000, 250,000 monthly viewers. Why? Because I cracked the code. I found something out that no one else has found out for sure. For sure. If other people have found it out, they're not sharing what they found out. Now, this is going, there's a 30-day range that Pinterest holds on to as like record breaking. So if I got here in, like, look at this. If I got up to 152,000, this will be monthly. This is over 1, 2, 3, 4, less than a week. What do you think I'll be able to get to as an audience on Pinterest? What do you think I'll be able to get to in 1 month, in a 30-day period? This is when I will teach you guys my tricks in 30 days, or actually in 3 weeks. Who wants to learn my Pinterest tricks in 3 weeks? I never, ever, ever saw this one coming. I did not see this coming. Let's look at the percentages. Have you guys, this is funny to me. This is really, really funny to me because let's look at my audience. And by the way, this is all going to my brand resume. We're going to talk about that in just a sec. This is your bonus. In 3 weeks, you will get the new course, which I like to call Pinteresting Results. Isn't that great? Because I kept saying that as I was looking at my results. I'm like, how interesting, Mark. You went up 500,000%. Like, how interesting. Those are interesting results, Mark, as I'm talking to myself. How do I get more of those? Well, first of all, when I was up 100%, then 1,000% on day one, 1,000%. How often do you hear people say, I'm in it 1,000%? I'm like, that's impossible. Nobody gets 1,000% results going upwards. That's like unheard of. What about 1,000,000%? By the end of the month, I'll be at like probably, yeah, my audience went up 2,000,000%. That's ridiculous. So I kept saying, those are interesting results. So I don't know. This just popped into my head. Pinteresting results. If you guys are missing this, the play on words here, the platform is called Pinterest. And I just added ing. Pinteresting results. That's going to be the name of the course. And here's how this course is going to work. It will be structured exactly like Brand Resume was. Brand Resume, we did it over the period of a week, right? Those of you that were on Brand Resume, this is what we did. I'm going to go back. We started and we covered all of these sessions. Session 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did that all in one night. And 6, all in one evening. We did Build It and They Will Come. We did this on night number 2. Content formats, we did that on night number 3. This categories, we did it on night number 4. Create and Nurture, we did it on night number 5. You guys were live. I had I don't know, I think we were 60 of us. 60 of us. Well, guess what? In 1 month, not 1 month, we're going to do it, at the first week in June. We will do it on June 4th, right? No, what am I saying? June. September. September 3rd is a Thursday. Here's what's happening in our world, guys. We have some people that are part of content creators. That's our next journey, okay? This is what we're doing in August. You cannot get into that anymore. It will be a free course. I'm working with collaborators. We can't talk about this tonight. This is closed. If you're in it to win it, you're in it to win it. We start next week, as a matter of fact. It was supposed to be 4 weeks. It'll be more like 6 weeks. So those of you who are getting the emails who are the collaborators here, this will run through August. We create content and we feature you in the course. That is friggin' amazing on its own. But after this is done, guess what? We are creating this. And you know how long it's going to take to create this? 2 weeks. That's it. 2 Thursdays. Why are we doing it then and not right now? Well, first of all, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing on Pinterest. Make no mistake, I'm cracking codes like there's no tomorrow. Look, as I'm playing, I'm figuring things out. I'm modifying my approach. I'm refining my strategies here. So, over the 30-day bar graph, when we hit September, we're going to look at my 30-day bar graph, or my 30-day results. I have no doubt in my mind that I'll be at over 1 million in audience, and my approaches will be more refined, and content creators will be done. We'll be ready to go on our next journey, which will be June 4th and June 11th. Why do I keep saying June? I'm looking at the calendar wrong. September 3rd and September 10th. Who would like to not only attend those 2 live events, very closed, very private, extremely closed and private, on how I achieved these Pinterest results? Listen, guys, traffic is traffic. It doesn't matter where it comes from. Except Pinterest users are buyers. And I'm witnessing that right now. It's absolutely bananas. So, who would like to be in those 2 weeks? And guess what? If you're part of those 2 weeks, this course will be a new course in Social Media is the New Hollywood. And guess how much this course will sell for? $500. It's only 2 weeks. But it's not about the length of the value. It's about what will the course do for you. If you get results like this, which you will, you will. Yeah, I mean, I did. I'm no different than you. I just figured some stuff out. If I get results like this, would you pay? How much would you pay for that course? Would you pay $500? Of course you would. Obviously. I mean, I don't even need to say anything about that. I don't need to say anything. For me to literally go, if someone said to me, I'm going to give you 100,000 monthly viewers, just like Gary Vaynerchuk. So 100,000 people check you out monthly on any platform, anywhere. It doesn't matter. 100,000 human beings check you out every month. I'll charge you $500 one time, and not only will I grant you that wish, I'm going to teach you how to do it. You know how quick I would reach out for my $500? Well, guess what? Those of you that purchased Brand Resume tonight at the $297, that's your bonus. You come on those 2 days. You come on my Pinterest weeks, on those 2 Pinterest weeks, and once we're done those weeks, you get the $500 course unlocked for life. That is your bonus, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you're as excited as I am. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, well, I'm in Brand Resume. Do I get the bonus too? I'll let you purchase the bonus, okay? It doesn't come with it. This is for tonight only. Let's be very, 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 very clear here. This Pinteresting results bonus, you have to pick it up tonight. If you get Brand Resume, here are your 2 options. You have 3 options. Option number 1, pick up Brand Resume, just like I showed you, with the coupon code right here at 297 offer. Write it down. If you're not sure about it, you may want to come back tomorrow and try again, and then you won't get it. Here's what will happen tomorrow. You're going to put in that coupon code. It will be $2,000. There will be no $297 offer. Come and try it. Just come and try it. Call my bluff. Call my bluff, please. So number 1, you won't get that offer. And if you do purchase it for $2,000, it's worth way more than $2,000, but you're not getting the Pinterest bonus. That Pinterest bonus is only tonight, and so is the $297. That's option 1. Option 2, if you already have Brand Resume and you want the Pinterest bonus, I will let you purchase just that bonus, and that is just tonight as well. That is only tonight. If you watch the replay of this, do not bother. You're not getting the Pinterest bonus. I don't want anyone to get that Pinterest bonus. I'm going to tell you guys a super quick story, and I'll tell you how much the Pinterest bonus is. And it's, I'll just put it up here. When I started on Twitter, I created Twitter One. Does anyone know my Twitter journey? When I start teaching my Twitter tips, tricks with something called Twitter Lead Machine, thousands of people purchased the course. Thousands of people. That was enough to make me a hefty 7 figures off that launch. That launch was $500,000 in my pocket because it worked and everybody bought it that was in my circle, okay? And then when I sold 100 copies, that was no big deal, but I quickly sold 1,000 copies, then another 1,000 copies, then another 1,000 copies. And as I was selling them and sharing those Twitter secrets, guess what? My vein of diamonds turned into a vein of gold. Then that vein of gold turned into a vein of silver, then a vein of bronze. Now I'm struggling with getting anything close to what I was getting on Twitter back then because I shared those secrets with too many people, okay? If you think that's not true, believe me, I saw it happen before my very own eyes. If I would have kept all of those tricks to myself, I would have been still cashing in on Twitter, for sure. But with that being said, guess what? Pinterest is my new Twitter. Pinterest, I found something out, except I had millions of followers on Twitter, guys. Millions. You guys remember? Does anyone remember that? Millions. I made my career off Twitter. But now, look at this. It's not any different. Okay? 152,000 in a matter of days. This is my new secret. So guys, if you have Brand Resume and you want the bonus, you can only pick it up tonight, okay? and then you show up during the classes, and you get the $500 course unlocked at the beginning of September when we're done content creators. But you have to do it tonight. It's like a pre-offer. You've seen my results. You can go to my Pinterest account daily, and you can kick yourself, how would you say? Kick yourself for not making it happen tonight. So, option number 2 is pick up the bonus. I'll tell you how much right now. You know how much? $97. That's what I'm charging. It's a one-shot deal. You pick it up right now, and if you don't pick it up, you can't do it tomorrow. I don't want too many people knowing this Pinterest stuff because I want to capitalize on this with a few of you. So, you got 2 options right there. The web address, I'll just say it right now because we've been on long, those of you who want to go. Those of you who got brand resume for the $297, you get the Pinterest bonus. Don't worry about it. You will get notified by email. By the email that you registered with, or by the email that you signed up in social media is the New Hollywood with. You must open an account in social media is the New Hollywood. So when you go to socialmediaisthenewhollywood.com, if you don't have an account, you have to open a free account, and that's how you get to access this offer, okay? So don't purchase the bonus, guys, for $97 if you pick this up for $297. It's included for tonight only. Now, if you want to just get the bonus, everyone who has a brand resume that's on here, if you want the bonus, you simply go to asklalonde.com. I'll type it here, then I'll type it in the chat. asklalonde.com/Pinterest. Pinterest. Pinterest. Actually, let me copy it from there. Copy. Yeah. HTTP. Enter. Okay. That'll load up for a few seconds. It'll go directly to a PayPal link. And there it is. Pick it up for $97, and you will be included in the 2-week Pinterest live training, and you will be unlocked for that course. Those 2 live trainings on, let's get the dates right, September 3rd, which is a Thursday, and September 10th, which is the following Thursday. You will attend those live, and those live sessions will go into the course in social media is the New Hollywood, which will be called Pinteresting Results, and it will be $500, no discount, but you will have it unlocked for life, okay? All you gotta do is punch this in, asklalonde, asklalonde.com/Pinterest. It'll redirect you, and let me put that in the chat right now. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I just put it in the chat. asklalonde.com/Pinterest. And you will be guided to this page, and I will notify you of those upcoming sessions. So we have, let me see, we have option number 1, which is the $297, which you get brand resume in full with the Pinterest bonus. Option number 2, only the Pinterest bonus for those of you that have brand resume. And option number 3, if some of you don't want brand resume, don't want to build your personal brand using a brand resume, but only want the Pinterest bonus, normally I would say, well, then you got to get it anyways, but I won't make you do that. You can go and pick up only the Pinterest bonus. So the bonus is for sale, okay? And there we have it. I'm super excited on so many fronts, but I bet you guys did not see that coming, right? I'm going to close it off with this image here. I don't think there could possibly be many questions. What I will do is I will retype in the chat a couple of things here. I will type in, here's what I'll do. I'll put in a couple of links here. So you may want to copy and paste them from the chat. You must do this now. This is where I'm going to start. I'm going to start by putting them in. So we have the Ask Lalonde. I'm going to paste them all back in. So we have asklalonde.com. No, we'll start with social media is the New Hollywood. Social media is the New Hollywood. .com. Okay, there it is in the chat. I will put the code, which is $297 offer. Okay, I will put that in the chat. Discount code is 297 offer. Okay, there it's in the chat. So that's how you pick up Brand Resume and the bonus. For only the bonus, let me go back to this beautiful image. For only the bonus, it is asklalonde.com/Pinterest. Okay, and that will guide you to this payment link. And I will say this right now. This offer is only good if you're here with me right now. If you're here with me live right now. It is July 16th. It's Thursday night, okay? If you're seeing this replay the following day, this offer is no longer valid, and you will see by the coupon code. You will have to pay $2,000, no exceptions, and you will not get the bonus if you pay the $2,000. And if you have Brand Resume and you're watching the replay, well, hopefully this will specify the importance of coming live to these things, okay? If you're not, if you're watching the replay on YouTube or something, the Pinterest link will not work, okay? So if you go to asklalonde.com/Pinterest, it will not work. It will not guide you to the page. It will. This is how this is going to behave tonight. If you go, if you go asklalonde.com/Pinterest, .com/Pinterest, this page will load for a few seconds, and then you will go to the $97 link. If you do this and it's like July 17th, or this will be up till probably the 19th because of I have to take this page down. So if this page pops up, you're okay. It means I haven't. There are things I have to do. I have to post the replay after this as well in the Laboom Squad. I have to share the replay. So let's say till tomorrow. So we are the 16th, the 7th. By the 18th, all these offers are down. So if you must sleep on it, keep your links in hand. But these are they're probably going to come down tonight. As soon as I can take them down, I'm taking them down. So if you do come back tomorrow and you say, hey, you said for another day. I'm not saying for another day. I'm saying now. I'm saying if they do happen to be up for an additional day, good for you. You got in. You made it happen. You got very, very lucky. But actually, I'm going to make an effort to, within the next couple of hours, make sure this is all down. And the coupon code is no longer available, and neither is this bonus. It's too valuable, guys. So those of you who showed up live and stuck around this whole time, congratulations. That's what I really want to nail home right now, is if you can't make the payments, if you need a payment plan because $97 is too expensive, let's say you want Brand Resume and you want the Pinterest bonus, which one would I pick up? Well, I'd pick up Brand Resume because you get the Pinterest bonus as well. So I would do this, obviously. But if you can't afford the Pinterest bonus and you really want it, there is no payment plan. You have to do it. And if you can't afford $297 and you don't have either, you don't have Brand Resume or Pinterest and you want them both, but you only have like $100 available, well then get the Pinterest one. Okay? At least get the Pinterest one. Because here's what I want to say about the Pinterest one. You guys have all the URLs. Now I'm just going to ramble for a bit. Pinterest, because it's a purchasing platform, as you look, people are selling stuff. They're selling stuff. They're selling stuff. People come to Pinterest to buy stuff. This is all stuff for sale, guys. So if you're not interested in a personal brand, I think I was about to get into that a little earlier, or a few minutes ago there. I was just saying, you still want to build an audience, don't you? You can siphon these people, which is what I am doing, guys. I am siphoning my people. 152,000 monthly viewers. By the time I'm teaching this, I'll be in several hundreds of thousands of monthly viewers. That sounds absolutely ridiculous. These are not followers. These are monthly viewers. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be selling stuff for sure. Well, I want them tied to my brand, because once they're tied onto your brand resume and you get to once I start nurturing 1 million monthly viewers, this just happened. This just happened. And here's another thing. I was going to say, even if you're not interested in brand resume, pick up the bonus. Pick up that Pinterest bonus. And if you don't pick up the Pinterest bonus, watch us fly, baby. Watch us fly. I siphon these people. I'm going to put up a pin that's going to say, why don't you guys follow me on Instagram? Or if you're on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. When I have even now, why don't I do that now? I may do this tomorrow morning. Put a pin that says, follow me on TikTok, y'all. I mean, users are users. Monthly viewers are monthly viewers. Oh, I just noticed a notification. Oh, there we go. Your video pin was saved by... Thank you, Tori Kathleen Young. You get engagement. People share your stuff. People show you off. I'm going to save it for the bonus. So, who's in? Who's in? Put it in the chat. I see the Pinterest. I see sales are coming in like crazy. We got tons of brand resumes with Pinterest bonuses. I really think I'm going to stop this right now, guys. I'm going to get off because I don't want too many of you coming into the Pinterest world, to be honest with you. It's already too late. Well, listen, we didn't even have 500 people on today. I'm shocked. We're like maybe mid 300s, and maybe half of you, yeah, I guess about almost 200 of you have taken up the offer. No, more than 200 now. Yeah, I mean, pretty well almost everyone here has taken me up on my offers. It's a mix of brand resume and Pinterest offers, but I'm thinking the people who took me up on the Pinterest bonus only already have brand resume. So guys, who's excited about this this journey? And for those of you that are in content creators, hang on tight. I mean, next week, next Thursday, you will get the invite. My collaborators, you guys are about to be featured in a course. So exciting times, exciting times, exciting times. It's amazing when you put out content regularly, how you find veins of gold. And here we are. I don't think, I think this will be Pinterest will be the unlikely vein for many of us. I don't think many of us saw this coming. Okay, guys, it's been a long one, and I'll see you guys in the Laboom Squad. You will be invited when you make any purchase tonight. If you're not already in the Laboom Squad, you will be invited into that private group. It's a group that is outside of Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram. It's an independent group that's not on social media. So let me just go there. That is members.laboomsquad.com. And if you go to, I should put that, actually I'll just copy and paste that in the chat. Members.laboomsquad.com. If you made a purchase, oh, there we go. I'm getting some help. So here, copy that. Let me go put that in the chat. Okay, there it is. So once you make your purchase, request to come in here, and this is, you see, it's just like a Facebook group, except we collaborate here. Something to note is that you guys had the ability to post freely. You see, Carol, how are you, Carol? By the way, you don't have the ability to post freely anymore for now. I do have some help. Where is she? Where is she? Oh, you're on the webinar. Are you? I'm sorry. Is Chelsea here? Oh no. Chelsea's working on something. I have some assistant help in here. If you see Chelsea within here, Chelsea McDonald is helping me out. She's not actually a branding person. Who I used to have some admin help in the past, and this is admin help. This is yeah. With that being said, she's combing some posts, and we're doing some cleanup in here so that we're very focused on what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, guys, it's very easy to get distracted. The content that will go into this group has to be looked at, because it's very easy to get distracted with shiny objects of all kinds. And the reason we're kind of tightening this up, I'm trying to get it in a certain way where it's not a free-for-all anymore, because we're going to start having a lot of people in here. I'm about to make a big push for this group, because we have complete control over it. No social media can shut us down. And with this push, I plan on having tens of thousands of people in here, if not 100,000. I'm going to push it on my Pinterest. So if I push this on my Pinterest, we can have a lot of members here. And it's important not to have shiny objects. It's important to stay relevant and congruent to the path we're taking. I hope that makes sense. So I'm trying to get it set up so that you could add a post and the post gets approved by an admin. So I'm trying to figure out who. Well, the admins are probably going to be employees of mine, not partners. That never works out well. I've done that in the past. I love you guys and I trust you guys. I do. I love you and trust you, but I have to be nice to you. Yeah, I don't have to be nice to my employees because I pay them a paycheck. And it's not that I'm not nice to them, is that this is a whole other topic. But employees have a job to do. And the job is very, very, very clear cut. There's no, when you have a company, when you have companies, guys, those of you that do have companies, you know as well as I do that a job is a job. And I had a job. A job has tasks that need to be performed. And it's very much like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Do those and you're good. You get to go home for the day and you get your paycheck. You know what I mean? It's different. It's less of a, whoa, why did I even go there? Welcome to the Boom Squad, guys. Welcome to Brand Resume, and welcome to our new Pinterest journey. Have an amazing Thursday evening, and I will see you guys on the inside of the Boom Squad. I'm about to put the replay in here right now. Love you. Bye-bye now.